Good morning, everyone. Welcome. We are back live. Not that we were off for the holiday weekend, but of course we were here. But welcome back. And I noticed a lot of cars on the way into the radio station, so people are back to work.
Call Laporta Contracting today for a free evaluation and estimate, and go to our website to see our team and past customer videos at Laporta Contracting.
Make sure you like the video. If you're new, subscribe, click that notification bell. And everyone, get your friends to subscribe to this program. This is the MAGA radio show of record, the MAGA YouTube channel of record. Oh, man. Hey, Wookiees.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-37.
Here we go.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE 1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE 1. And now, here's Steve Kane.
Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show, on the radio since 1977. We are here live with you this Monday morning after Thanksgiving. Welcome back, one and all, to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. And we, of course, had a great time with you guys on, of course, Thursday and Friday. We were here live on Thanksgiving. Those of you that were off last week, we were here live on Thanksgiving and the day after Thanksgiving. And we had great shows both days, no doubt about that. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. There are a lot of stories to talk about in the news today. This business with Fauci, I'm going to get into in just a few minutes. And I know a lot of people are getting very excited about this Hunter Biden story with the Chinese billionaire not just offering the jewel to Hunter Biden, but also offering Hunter Biden a lot of money. In this Miranda Devine article, I'm going to tell you this. The Bidens have complete immunity. Don't you understand? The Bidens have complete immunity to do anything they want, whenever they want, and the Bidens will face zero accountability. Zero accountability. That's just the way it is. And I know a lot of people think this is, going to bring Biden down. Biden has been a corrupt public official since before he was a public official. And everyone in Washington knows it. And it gives him some protection because when he was with it, Biden, he made a lot of deals with a lot of people in power. And Jill Biden, Joe may not be able to remember everything, but Jill has the ledgers, okay, and the memory in her mind. Dr. Jill Biden. So the Bidens have complete immunity to do. They can do whatever they want. Hunter Biden, and it's not just Hunter, it's the whole family. Everything that they do isn't for themselves. It's for Joe, or as Hunter calls him, Pops. This is all for Pops. And Pops is involved in everything. And the Miranda Devine book will be spectacular. Mainstream media won't cover it unless they're forced to, and then they'll try to discount it. I love Miranda Devine. I think she is spectacular. She's maybe the last real true investigative journalist that's connected with, like corporate media, because she writes for the New York Post. I don't say she's the last investigative journalist because James O'Keefe and his outfit are out there, and there's other great people out there. But she is a true old-fashioned investigative journalist. The rest of the media are just a bunch of plagiarists. They just reprint, copy, and paste other people's news stories and put their byline at the top of it, reword a couple of things. Things that would get you expelled from college for academic dishonesty. That's what the media are now. But she's got some good stuff out there. And this information coming out from Miranda Devine, a lot of people will say it's not new. Some of it isn't, a lot of it is, but what's new about it is that she has confirmed with multiple sources these stories. So that's new. And having evidence to back up what has been alleged is hardcore. That's what you need for a criminal prosecution. But the Biden family have complete immunity from criminal prosecution, just like this Giselle Maxwell case. And I had a caller last week that was all excited about the Giselle Maxwell trial, which is beginning today. And a lot of people think, oh, this is going to be it. Going to bring everybody down. She's got the list of names. Nothing is going to come out of the Giselle Maxwell trial that is going to lead to any of these political lowlives being prosecuted. Jeffrey Epstein, he was like the guy that owned the mansion in Eyes Wide Shut, if you guys remember Eyes Wide Shut. Was Eyes Wide Shut Stanley Kubrick's last movie? I believe it was his last film. Eyes Wide Shut was a docudrama about the ruling elite of this country. And the Eyes Wide Shut people are never going to get in trouble here. Giselle Maxwell's trial will not amount to much. There might be some low-level people whose names we know. Prince Andrew might get jammed up a little bit more. And even he seems to be getting a pretty free pass on things. And there's been one or two other names that have been mentioned. But that's not going anywhere either. We have to stick with, in my view, not what we hope could happen, not on our wish list, but where we can actually see consequences, where we can actually see action. And, it would be very easy for me to get up here today or any day of the week and start telling you that this Giselle Maxwell trial is going to be the end of these people. It's not. And I'm not going to do that to you. I know a lot of people in this line of work that I am in will do that, especially since we're in a holiday month, which typically is a slow news time. I'm not going to get you guys all jazzed up about something that's going nowhere, and the Giselle Maxwell case is going nowhere. Even if shocking allegations and stories come out of the Giselle Maxwell trial, no one of substance is going to face any consequences because they're in a club that we cannot even understand. Eyes Wide Shut is, I think, the best way to look at that group. So I'm sorry. Maybe I could sit here and fill up the phones telling us how we're going to finally get to these people through Giselle Maxwell. There will never be consequences for these people. They live on another level. They live on another plane of existence. That's why they're after President Trump so much, because he was not part of the Eyes Wide Shut crowd. The crowd of corruption that the Bidens are in, that many others are in. But there are a lot of things we are going to talk about today that are going to be going places. This Fauci business with Ted Cruz, I'm going to talk about that after the first break. Fauci slipped up. Got all political all of a sudden, openly. He's always been political, but what happened with Fauci is he slipped. We're going to get into that. And that's something that is going to lead somewhere. We're going to get into that because that's a very, very important story with Fauci blowing his top on TV. Slipped. And This guy loves to talk, and the more he talks, the more trouble he gets himself into. So we'll be talking about that and quite a few other things on the program today as well. You know, the media, they like to go on vacation during weekends like Thanksgiving, and then they got the whole holiday month. They might want to cancel Christmas, but they sure like taking... Really what they do, it's not that the media went off for the holidays. It's an opportunity for them to not cover the news so that they can try to get distractions away from all of their corruption. Oh, I just say one thing about the Maxwell case, Giselle Maxwell case. The lead prosecutor is Comey's daughter. There you go. I mean, what are the odds of that? So there you have it. There you have it. Now, those of you that were off last week, you missed a lot because, believe it or not, Thursday and Friday were big news days. We got some new stuff on Kyle Rittenhouse we're going to get into on the program as well. And Steve and I will be here all month, even Christmas Eve. Christmas is on a Saturday, so we won't be here on Christmas morning. But Steve and I will be live all month long, right through Christmas Eve. We will be live on the air Christmas Eve with all of you, too. So make sure that you are here with us all month. A lot of people take vacations this month. There's too much going on to take vacations. This is not a time for MAGA, for conservatives to take vacations. There's just too much going on in the news. And there's one story, sadly, has happened during a holiday time, so the media will use that as an excuse not to report it, and it's the great Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz is awesome. Now, if you remember, the New York Times had a smear story that Matt Gaetz was involved in sex trafficking, underage girl, and everything else with this guy. Well, listen to this. 100% Fed Up has reported a hit piece, first reported by the New York Times, unraveled this week as the source who accused Matt Gaetz of sex trafficking pled guilty in federal court to wire fraud. The fake scandal originated from claims that Matt Gaetz was engaged in a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old. Prosecutors were investigating him, all this stuff. It's all fallen apart. The guy has pled guilty to his crimes. He was dangling these slanders against Matt Gaetz as a way to get a reduced sentence. And Matt Gaetz, the slanderous stories about Matt Gaetz have been shown to be false. I was with Matt Gaetz from the beginning. I knew it wasn't. You know, one of these stories allege that Matt Gaetz traveled with his girlfriend to this vacation where he brought a 17-year-old girl with him, you know, for sex. Give me a break. Give me a break. Girlfriends usually don't approve of such things, okay? It was just an absurdity. Matt Gaetz has been completely cleared. You know, all the media do are slander conservatives, slander MAGA, slander Republicans, and cover for the Democrats that are doing the real crimes, like Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, and all the rest. Now, I'm going to take our first break. We'll get back from this break and talk about Fauci and his slip-up with CBS News over the weekend. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
At AJ's Natural Shop at Festival Marketplace, you will find the best vitamins, herbs, and everything natural at amazingly low prices. I'm Anita, one of the owners of AJ's. My 20-plus years in the natural products industry has allowed me to make contacts with the top supplement and health food manufacturers throughout the country. So even if you can't find your favorite item at AJ's, just ask. I can get it for you at a great price. Call AJ's today. 954-317-1851. 954-317-1851.
Steve Kane radio listeners love Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca.
I went over to Champagne Automotive, and I got to say that this man is the most fair mechanic I have dealt with in my entire life. We took a car over there that was not being used yet. You know, it belonged to my 90-year-old dad. Everybody I had taken it to before was charging an astronomical amount of money. But when we took it over there, Eddie took a look at it, and I got to say that this man fixed the car. It's running like a charm. Anybody that needs a mechanic, I strongly recommend Eddie, and he is just the best thing that's happened to this family as far as car maintenance goes. It's fixed. Bottom line, it's fixed, and the price was right.
Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your car that your car doesn't need. And their prices are low. Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. Give them a call. 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for...
We're back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve will be joining us later. It is, of course, the longest running radio show in the state of Florida. Big announcement from Mike Lindell and MyPillow.com. If you go, I don't know how long this is going to be here. I truly mean, I do not know. This could disappear at any time. So what I'm about to tell you, I will be checking throughout the show. Take advantage of what I'm going to share with you right now. Go to MyPillow.com. Click on the Black Friday specials. It's right there at the top left at MyPillow.com. Black Friday specials. They're still there. Listen to this. This is an amazing, humongous special. You hear me talking about the MyPillow mattress topper? Now, the mattress topper I have is the 3-inch mattress topper, which is the thickest mattress topper that Mike Lindell makes. Right now, if you go to MyPillow.com, click on the Black Friday specials, you can get the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper for 50% off. There's a lot of other great Black Friday day deals that are up there right now at MyPillow.com. I know it's Monday, but the Black Friday deals are there. I went through these and checked these before I went on the air this morning and just did another check during the break. They are still there. 50% off the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. That makes a great gift for yourself or anyone on your gift-giving list. And these could disappear at any time. So go there right now, MyPillow.com, with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, 50% off the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. That's the mattress topper I have, and it is the thickest mattress topper that Mike Lindell makes. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. There are also other incredible deals on the Black Friday specials. I will talk about these as the show goes on, but this one is, these could disappear at any time. This one's huge. 50% off the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper with the promo code KANE at checkout. That is a big, big deal, and that could disappear. I'm going to keep monitoring it. Go right now. KANE is the promo code. Again, also by phone, 1-800-716-4879. All right, so let's get into this. Fauci did this interview with CBS over the weekend. And, you know, Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, and other Republicans have been talking about prosecuting Fauci for the same crime that General Flynn was, lying. You can't lie to the Congress. Or, I'm sorry, Roger Stone. They got Roger Stone on that. Lying to Congress is a crime. It's a crime. And Senator Ted Cruz and Senator Rand Paul have been saying that Fauci lied to Congress and should be prosecuted for it. And he was interviewed by CBS over the weekend, and he got angry, and he slipped. Here's Fauci. Oh, hold on, let me click it again. Here's Fauci.
I know what my job is.
Senator Cruz told the Attorney General you should be prosecuted.
Yeah. I have to laugh at that. I should be prosecuted. What happened on January 6th, Senator?
Do you think that this is about making you a scapegoat to deflect from President Trump?
Of course.
Okay, so this is very, very significant. For the first time ever, Fauci has publicly gotten political. He's always been political, but through his rage, through his anger, through his hate, he slipped. Now, there's a few things about this. I have experience dealing with liars, from all my years talking to liberals on the phone here. And when liars are trying to convince you that what they are saying is the truth when they're defending themselves against a charge you make against them, a typical tactic is laughter. Laughter. The reason they laugh is to try to convince you that the statement is so absurd that they have to laugh about it. The laugh is a big tell that he's lying. Now, this other portion where he point blank accuses Senator Ted Cruz of having involvement with the Capitol breach, which of course is a lie, but him saying that, he's a lifelong Democrat, Fauci. He's very comfortable in a White House filled with Democrats, with a Democrat in the Oval Office. That's his, what do they say? That's his wheelhouse. That's his comfort zone. He's home now, surrounded by Democrats like he is. When Fauci blames Ted Cruz and says Ted Cruz has involvement in the Capitol breach of January 6th, and then if you notice, the CBS reporter did not ask him to back that up. Oh, do you think they're just trying to reflect blame from Trump? Of course. My question to Fauci would be, we've got breaking news here. Dr. Fauci, Washington Insider, has now said that Senator Ted Cruz had a role in the Capitol breach. Could you share with us, Dr. Fauci, your evidence? And being a man of science, I'm sure it's scientific evidence. Could you share your evidence that Senator Ted Cruz had a role in the events that happened on January 6th at the Capitol? Because we're going to break some news here. But she didn't ask him that. She let that slander go out over the air of CBS. And this also tells me this is what he and his Democrat friends, Pelosi, Biden, and the rest, talk about behind closed doors, that Republican members of Congress, including senators, which are a little higher, senators are higher up than the House reps. There's fewer of them. They only have to run every 6 years. They view themselves as more important. That's what the Democrat insiders in the White House are saying. And I've been telling you for quite some time that the leftists, the Democrats, and the mainstream media are forever going to use the Capitol breach against us, against conservatives, against Republicans, certainly against MAGA. And what he is saying here is that in his mind, Senator Ted Cruz is a domestic terrorist. We just had Dr. Fauci accuse Senator Ted Cruz of being involved in a conspiracy and accuse him of being a domestic terrorist without any evidence at all. This tells us this is what the Democrat insiders are talking about. And I've been telling you about this since it happened. This is why I was so angry the day after the Capitol breach, because I knew this was going to be the rest of my life dealing with this Capitol breach. You know, we always were able to take the moral high ground. Anytime, like the LA riots, Antifa, BLM in the streets, we would always be able to say, Republicans don't do such things. And now the media and the Democrats will never let us say that again. They're always going to point to the Capitol breach. But what they're doing with the Capitol breach, and they're going to continue to do with the Capitol breach, is continually tell us that Republican leaders are domestic terrorists, which is what Fauci just said about Senator Ted Cruz. And of course, domestic terrorists can't be part of the government, can't be part of the process. There's a lot of foreshadowing going on with the leaders of this country right now on multiple topics. But this is one of them. And it is only a matter of time before some liberal think tank declares MAGA officially a domestic terrorist organization. That's why they keep referring to us, which is an absurdity, that we're white supremacists, which is the dumbest thing ever, but they keep saying it. And if they keep repeating a lie often enough, it'll become a truth to a lot of people. Goebbels 101 here. They are making a move to eventually outlaw MAGA and the Republican Party and declare us a domestic terrorist organization. And when Fauci slipped, because he's nervous, okay, it was a little bit of a reveal of what they're saying at the White House these days with Biden running the joint. All right. It's Monday. We're back here live. Not that we were off Thursday and Friday. We were here live on Thursday and Friday. Your calls are certainly welcome. Our number toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. We'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. I'll get back to some calls, and we'll also bring up some other topics in the news right after this.
Hi, Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration. We survived the 2021 hurricane season. Now it's time to get your building envelope ready for the next season. Laporta Contracting installs all types of roofs, from asphalt, clay, and concrete, standing metal seam, flat roofs, and slate tile systems. Our building restoration offers complete envelope protection to include siding, stucco, concrete restoration, impact windows and doors, weatherproofing, and painting. Laporta Contracting serves single-family, multifamily, HOAs, and commercial properties. Call Laporta Contracting today for a free evaluation and estimate, and go to our website to see our team and past customer videos at Laporta Contracting. Our number is 954-604-4602. That number again is 954-604-4602. And thanks for listening to The Steve Kane Show.
This is Brian Craig. I've been telling you about the great deals and incredible customer service at Friendly Tire on both new tires and used tires. One of our listeners, Antonio, went to Friendly Tire and called to share with us his experience of buying used tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hey, yes, Brian, I want to give you a quick testimony about the tire place up in Margate, Friendly Tire. Friendly Tire is everything you said it would be, man. I went up there and got me some used tires, and when I went up there, man, he was very courteous. My whole family
Steve Kane Show. Hold on. Steve Kane Show. Hold on. Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane Show. Well, what's your name?
Antonio.
Hold on.
All right, Antonio. Hey,
Steve Kane Show.
I'm glad
Hold
we
on.
could save you and your family lots of money on tires at Friendly Tire.
Oh, no doubt, man. Thanks so much, man.
Do what Antonio did. Stop into Friendly Tire and find incredible deals on both new and used tires. Give Friendly Mike a call right now. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. And Mike will give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for it.
Yeah, when you call Friendly Tire in Margate for a quote, which you should do on new or used tires, Friendly Mike will give you a quote right over the phone. Make sure you mention you heard him on the radio. He takes great care of all of his customers, but he always goes the extra mile for listeners of the Steve Kane Show. So when you call Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire, make sure you mention that you heard him on the radio. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Friendly Tire in Margate. Good morning. You're on the radio. First call of the week.
Yes, you have a great radio show. I'm a fiscal conservative. But when are you going to stop believing the lie that Trump...
I don't know. When have you heard me even talk about that? And what do you mean you're a fiscal conservative? What does that mean?
Yeah, unlike Trump, I believe that we should reduce the deficit. I'm a real conservative.
Yeah, but what are you not conservative on? Wait, you didn't say you're a real conservative. You said you're a fiscal conservative, and well, where's the part? Okay, usually when someone is a fiscal conservative, that means that they're socially liberal.
I see that you say that Trump...
When did you see I said that? When have you even heard? You know, this is... Let me tell you something, guys. It's happening. It's happening. Have you noticed? Have you noticed? The seminar callers, first call of the week, as we... in the month almost, seminar callers. Seminar callers. And you can tell right off the bat, you know, seminar callers are called, for those that don't know, Rush used to talk about them. Seminar callers are callers who were put up by the Democrats to call radio shows to get an agenda out. And that guy figured out right quick that I had his number. All right, 1-888-GO-CANE-1, waiting for the first real call of the day. And I'm pro-life! Damn you! Yeah. What, when someone says fiscally conservative, I'm a fiscal conservative, unlike Trump, and I'm pro-life, does a guy that's that angry seem like he's a pro-life guy? And I'll tell you another thing. When someone says they're fiscally conservative, what they mean is they're socially liberal. And he wanted to get that. I'm pro-life, you know. Pro-life people are loving, caring people, not filled with rage, and don't call shows lying. 1-888-GO-CANE-1 is our number. 1-888-465-2631. Kyle Rittenhouse, of course, acquitted of the crimes he was charged with, crimes he should not have been charged with. And of course, the jury in the Rittenhouse case determined that Kyle Rittenhouse was defending his life. And in that trial, when he took the stand, we found out he was a distance learning college student, that he was a student at Arizona State University. Well, the students, you know, I was talking about this last week. I know a lot of you were off for Thanksgiving. Kyle Rittenhouse, I told you, will never be able to go to college normally unless he goes to Hillsdale. And it's very strange. Arizona State University, where he goes online, is one of the most liberal of universities in this country, believe it or not. Listen to this. Students rally. These are students at Arizona State University. Arizona State University students rally to get Kyle Rittenhouse thrown out of the college. That's true. Student organizations at Arizona State University are organizing a protest to get Kyle Rittenhouse, who's an online student, remember, doesn't go in person, kicked out of Arizona State University. The demands of the students are this. One, demands. They're making demands upon the university administration. One, withdraw Kyle Rittenhouse from Arizona State University. Two, release a statement against white supremacy and racist murderer Kyle Rittenhouse. The people he shot were all white, and Kyle Rittenhouse is white. Where's the racism in that? Still, do they know that everyone he shot was white? Do they know he's white? Their third demand: reaffirm support for the Multicultural Center on campus as a space safe from white supremacy. See, that multicultural space is a racially segregated space where white students are not permitted, according to the students, which is a violation of federal law. And a public university cannot have racially segregated places on the school, but that's what they want. They want the school to support segregation. These liberal students at Arizona State University. Their fourth demand is this: redirect funding from Arizona State University Police Department to support the Multicultural Center and establishment of a care center on campus. I don't know what a care center is, but it has two A's in it. And then they write this at the bottom of their demands: even with a not guilty verdict from a flawed justice system, Kyle Rittenhouse is still guilty to his victims and the family of those victims. Join us to demand from Arizona State University that these demands be met to protect students from a violent, bloodthirsty murderer. Well, good luck with that. See, you know, the absurdity of calling someone a racist, what interaction has Kyle Rittenhouse had with a non-white person in the public? Just one. The black guy that tried to stomp his head in. And he didn't shoot him. The people he shot were the others who were white. He could have shot that guy in self-defense, because stomping someone's head in, you can kill someone with that. Certainly cause permanent damage, but definitely kills someone too. So he would have been defending his life in that instance, but he didn't. So I don't know how they call it. Is it racist to stop a black person from bashing your head in with their foot? I don't know. You know, this is it's such a funny thing. When I was younger, I used to care what young people thought. Then I realized their brains haven't completed growing and developing, and they don't know what they're talking about. You know, like when I was a teenager, I used to watch these youth panels where creepy reporters would put together youth panels of teenagers to solve the world's problems. What the hell do they know? They don't even pay their own bills. They don't buy their own food. You know? But kids, they think they got all the answers. I don't care what college students think. I really don't. And, you know, campus reform, they get a lot of funny videos. You know, they go and interview college students about different things, and they're always pretty funny. But who cares what children think? Do you care what children think? I don't care what young people think. I really don't, because they don't know what they're talking about. And those college students, they may be very liberal while they're in college. Wait until they get out there in the work world and start paying their own bills, and then let's revisit them in 15, 20 years. Good morning. Hey, Richie.
I'm the true first of the week.
Yeah, the first caller doesn't count as the first caller of the week.
He's a dirtbag. He you know when he watched that Michael Cohen interview yesterday, where Michael Cohen attacked the President of the United States and he attacked Czech.
Michael Cohen, President Trump's former lawyer, you know, he made a deal. His deal was, you know, okay, you got me. Don't prosecute me that hard, and I'll bash Trump for the rest of my life, and you'll pay me to do it as a CNN contributor. That was his plea agreement.
Yeah, that's his stick. I disagree with you with the Fauci and Ted Cruz. He wasn't calling Ted Cruz or Rand Paul out for that. He was calling President Trump for not being. In other words, Fauci is basically saying, look, they're going after me, but they should be going after the guy who started January.
He was going after Cruz too. I think he was going after Cruz, and I think he was going after Trump.
Not going after Trump.
But you know, that brings together, though. I got to tell you something, though. Even if we're not really disagreeing over much here, so I'm not going to try to make a fight between. I think he was talking about both. You think just. I think he was talking about both. But what he said about Trump, if he has such disgust for Trump, how did he serve in his position with Trump? You know, how could he have been serving in a position with someone that he thought was a domestic terrorist?
That's what he is. He's a fictitious.
And you know, that seminar caller, what the seminar caller was trying to get me to do was agree. You know, this is, see, fake conservative seminar callers, what they try to get you to do is agree with their narrative, and he was trying to get me to agree with the Capitol breach, which is not going to happen around here. And then they say, "Oh, you're supporting violence. You're supporting an overthrow." No, that's what they're all. That's if these things they said about conservatives were true, they wouldn't have to call in and lie and try to trap you into saying something. You would just be saying it all the time. And I you know, before the Trump rally, because listeners were calling me, "Are you going to be going?" I said no, and you should not. I told people not to go to Washington before that happened, because you just don't. This is not a time to be going to uncontrolled political events. It's just not a time. Anyway, yeah. But
up to you. You brought up something, and this is going to be a little cute story. You brought up something last week. You said I'm a blabbermouth I was a blabbermouth on the bus, and then Steve said, now I'm his you guys blabbermouth on the show. We have a lot in common. I should have told you this on the cruise. Steve had that television show. You remember the TV? I don't know if you were involved with that. That was years ago. It's true.
Yeah, I was the producer on the Steve Kane television show. Yeah.
He did a segment on a homeless girl. Her name was Patty.
Yeah, from Under the Bridge. I was there. How do you think that guy? I set that interview up.
Well, you know what? That wasn't where Patty lived. I used to take Patty every day. That was her place of business. Patty had no teeth, and she lived in a coop, in a chicken coop on State Road 84 with her boyfriend, who was under there a lot of times with her too. She went out there with that sign, "We'll work for food," and they had a mess under that bridge. But she actually lived in a chicken coop out off of State Road 84.
So she was in even worse conditions than.
In the middle of a.
Well, what Richie's talking about. For 5 years we had a Steve Kane television show that aired on public access television, and we went around town and we went around the Fort Lauderdale area interviewing homeless people with "Work for Food" signs on the side of the road. And there was one lady in particular who was kind of a landmark in Davie. She was on University and 595, and we interviewed her, and she took us under the bridge, and it was Steve was packing that day. Steve had a concealed weapons permit, and Steve was armed that day when we did the interview with all those homeless people, and we didn't go under the bridge totally unprotected. We had I guess if we were running into trouble, Steve could have loaned me his gun and I could have defended us. I don't know how good Steve would have been with it.
She used to talk to me and she used to say she was going to work. That was her job.
Yeah, she had a sign like "Homeless, hungry, please help, small children at home." And Steve asked her about her children, and she said, "What children?" "The ones on your sign, lady." So that was a lie.
Coop.
Yeah. A chicken coop. That's pretty bad. Were there chickens in it with her?
No, her and her boyfriend.
Oh my goodness! And they lived in a chicken coop.
Back then, there was a lot of open farmland. I used to go to all the mobile home parks back there. It was a 1 hour drive.
I always wondered how much money those people at the intersections made a week.
I can tell you a story. There's one guy I know that made he worked 5 hours a day. He told me this is what he did. He worked 5 hours a day. He worked 5 days a week, and he made $700 in average clear money from people giving him money. He acted like he had cerebral palsy on 441.
Yeah, there's a guy that I see on 441 north of Hillsborough, and he walks around and he limps and he holds himself in pain and he can hardly take a step with his sign. And as soon as the light turned green, he walks better than I do.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah.
They get on human being sympathy. And by the way, I'm going to say the last thing of the day, for you Democrats out there, okay, and for these Arizona State University, look to the south of the United States. They are what President Trump said in the past. They are crap holes. If it wasn't for white America, and I'm going to say it, white America, this country wouldn't be the way it is today with the progress. I mean, Europeans built this country with their brains.
Well, this fantasy that they have that this land was stolen from first off, the Indians were nomadic and were savages who were killing one another. I mean, give me a break. Someone was going to come here.
Look at Africa today. Give me a break. The United States is...
Well, if you go to Africa, what they tell you about Africa, they tell you that the reason Africa is third world is because the Europeans, they took it over and colonized it and destroyed their culture down there through the European colonization of Africa.
Yeah, the white guy. Once again...
I mean, you listen to the Afrocentric historians, and they'll tell you that every invention in the world came out of Africa, and the Africans were walking on the moon, before Christ.
Statement: white man's greed is I never forget that. White man's greed is hurting people in need or something like that.
Yeah, what was that? White man's greed feeds a world in need. Feeds a world in need. Yeah.
Because we developed this country, and it was our brains that did it, and it was our culture. And you can take that other culture and all over the place and stick it. Have a great morning.
All right. Okay, Richie. I don't know. Richie's getting like borderline like racist in his comment. I'm not saying Richie's a racist. I know Richie. He's not a racist, but he says things that sound racist. I'll tell you that much. All right, listen. Let me take our last break of the first hour. We're here live. It's Monday. And we'll be right back, all right? Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Don't go anywhere. Back right after this.
Suffer with diabetes. Did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. at the Soul Authority. At little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware, but as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to one pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
This is Janet Cimarelli, licensed nutrition counselor. I have more than 30 years experience counseling people, and I've traveled throughout Europe, United States, and Canada for nutrition education from the experts around the world, all to be able to give you the very best health information for my clients. You can see me, Janet Cimarelli, licensed nutrition counselor, by appointment at AJ's. Call 954-317-1851 and see the changes you can make in your health with nutrition. 954-317-1851. 954-317-1851.
Seniors, open enrollment is here. I Will Advisors is here to offer you an unbiased comparison of all your Medicare health insurance options. I Will Advisors specialize in educating Medicare beneficiaries on every available option to ensure you make the right choice for your needs. Call us directly at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search.
All right, 49 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian. We're here live. It's Monday morning, November 29th. Welcome back. 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Good morning.
Yes, what's on your mind? Yeah, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Calling from Louisiana.
Louisiana, what's up?
Hey, what's up, brother? You doing all right this morning?
I'm always doing all right. How about you?
That's good. That was excellent. Got a quick question. Hey, the caller that was
Richie.
right, did I hear right? Did he say America wouldn't be what it is today? It would be for white people intelligence?
Yes, I think he said something like that.
That's what I thought he said. Okay.
Well, I mean, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, what are your thoughts on his statement?
My thoughts on it is America would be America today without black people intelligence, without anybody intelligence. That's what makes this country.
Well, you know, this country, yeah, well, Richie, you know, he's a little harsh there, but this country is a country founded on Judeo-Christian principles and is founded based on European culture. I think that's true. This country was settled by Europeans, not Africans. You know, so I think Richie's using some words to be controversial, but you know, this country was founded by Europeans, and those are typically white. I know some Europeans are not, like we have Hispanics, you know, they're coming across the southern border that are descendants too. But you know, Richie, you know, but we now have a shared American culture. You know what's going on with Richie. I'll tell you what's going on with Richie. It's a lot of what's going on with the left. The left they have, you know, like there was this horrible incident, the Christmas parade massacre that happened last weekend, and Black Lives Matter was raising money to bail that guy out. He killed all white people, right? And obviously a response to the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict. And Black Lives Matter was raising money on one of those networking platforms to bail the guy out of jail. And what the Democrats do is what they've always done, try to cause racial divisions in this country. And they're taking people who typically are not all that interested in racial issues and trying to make them feel racist. Not just conservative white people like Richie, but liberal black people as well, because they want us at each other's throats. And this country was very united with and under President Trump, and Democrats stay in power by keeping people divided. And these racial issues that are coming up in our society, I mean, like the stupidity of saying that Kyle Rittenhouse is a white supremacist. He shot 3 people. They were all white. What's that? Where's the white supremacy in that? He's white. They're white. You know, they're trying to cause a race war in this country, the Democrats and the media, and that's and they're having some success with it, frankly. Yeah.
Like I didn't mean to interrupt you. That's just like the incident, like what happened with the guy with the Christmas parade. I don't care who he was. I don't care what organization. I wouldn't have built. Why would you try to raise money to get him out of jail? He should have never been out in the first place. And that's the whole thing I think about. Like that, everybody, I see different shows, they talk about, well, he shouldn't have been out, this and that. At some point, when you get doing that much, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm Democrat, I'm black. But sometimes when you do stuff like that, it's no hope. Just lock you up because he should never been out.
Well, the problem is I'm sorry that you're a Democrat, by the way. I'm sorry for that. Why are you a Democrat?
I love being a Democrat.
No, but what about it? Like, what issues do the Democrats support that makes you support them?
It's like they care about the American worker. They care about.
They care about the American worker. Tell me something that the Democrats are doing to help the American workers.
I'm not going to do that.
Because you can't. They're not doing anything to help the American worker.
Yes, because they are doing it.
Then if the Democrats are doing something to help the American worker, you should be able to give me an example.
I was calling to be civil this morning, so I'm keeping civil.
No. You say that you support the Democrats. You say because they help the American worker.
You support Donald Trump and the Republicans.
And I can tell you why. And I can back it up.
No, you support who you support. You support.
No. I don't just support somebody. I support someone for a specific reason. Like you say the Democrats support the American worker. How are they supporting the American worker when gasoline cost almost twice as much as it did President Trump's last day in office? How does that help the American worker?
And you saying that.
Well, it's true.
All that. It's you know what, you saying gasoline is high because I filled up my truck yesterday.
Yeah, and Biden did that. The Democrats did that.
No, Joe didn't do that.
Yes, he did. He shut down the 2 pipelines. He shut down oil drilling in Anwar. It is true. He did it on day 1. He announced it. It is true.
It's not.
The Keystone Pipeline, he stopped it, the construction of it.
He did about the pipeline, but let me tell you something about that. Those pipelines, that was temporary jobs. Ask yourself, how many permanent jobs that pipeline was going to give? It wasn't going to give many.
What do you mean a temporary job? A construction project of that size are jobs that last years. And when they built the Brooklyn Bridge, when they built the Brooklyn Bridge, the jobs on the bridge were only there while the bridge was being built, right? Then it's over. And then what? They moved to another construction project. That's all. But it wasn't just the jobs from when they built the World Trade Center or the Empire State Building, that when the project's over, they move on to other jobs. But what the pipeline was going to do was transport oil through the country, and he stopped that. Prices are up on gasoline because Biden made it happen.
And you know that.
Then why are they high? Tell me why they're higher. Tell me why tell me why they've doubled.
It's too much. It's too much for me to tell you.
It's too much. I'm here till 9. I'm here till 9 a.m. Tell me, why are the prices really high? I told you why I think.
It's high because all companies are trying to get rich, and they're using this to their advantage. And you know that, and I know that.
Mm-hmm.
Because when Trump was in office, they knew they had a sucker in there.
A sucker?
You know what they're going to let them do, whatever they want.
So you say, okay, so Biden is controlled by the oil companies. So where's the part where what you said the Democrats support working people, And I'm hearing you agree with me that they're screwing over working people. The reason, you know why you're a Democrat? Because you live in denial.
Let me finish, please. Let me finish, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
We can go back and forth with this all day long, and we both know the truth. And you...
No, we do not both know the truth. I know the truth. I know the truth. See, you're a Democrat. You are a Democrat because you lie to yourself. You live in denial.
No, I don't.
Well, then tell me why. Okay, give me another reason why give me another reason you support Democrats. Give me another reason you're a Democrat.
And you see, that's like yesterday. That's like I was watching TV yesterday. That's like I was listening to you this morning. You was talking about Dr. Fauci. Dr. Fauci answered a question. He was laughing. And you talking about, well, it's too much. It's just too much. And you egg on this stuff every month.
So do you find it odd that you're a Democrat and you can't explain why you're a Democrat?
Yeah.
Then let's go. Do it.
I'm not finding it at all because I'm a.
Then explain it to me.
Democrat.
Tell me why.
Being a Republican, and then we love being with who you are. Love being my eyes. So I'm good.
I'm not a part of a club. No. I support Donald Trump for a lot of reasons. One. He controls. I'm part of the Trump cult. Right. Yeah. Okay. You can keep diverting to me all you want, but this is the first time I think you've realized that you cannot articulate why you are a Democrat. You're a Democrat because you were born a Democrat and you don't know any different.
Republican because you were born a Republican.
No, I was a Democrat even when I was on the radio years ago. Yeah, I grew up. I grew up and matured.
A Democrat because I love they take for the working people. They take care. They're doing their best trying to take care of this country. It's like some of the Republicans.
Oh, they're taking care of this country. How are they taking care of this country? My wife and I went to Walmart on Saturday to buy some Christmas decorations. My wife wanted to get a blow-up for the front yard. There were no blow-ups for the front yard. There were no lawn decorations because the supply chain, they're on ships off of the coast of California because Biden screwed that up.
No, he didn't. And it has been proven.
Oh, then, okay, it's been proven. Then why are the ships backed up?
Because, it's all about greed, bro.
It's all about greed? I can specifically tell you why the ships are offshore, but you can't.
I can tell you it's all about greed.
It's about greed.
I saw the special on 60 Minutes about that.
Oh, liberal 60 Minutes. Okay, yeah.
60 Minutes.
And what did they tell you?
Listen to your show. It's like sometimes I listen to your show, and sometimes I can stomach Sean Hannity for a second or two. I watch it all, bro. I'll watch it all.
Yeah, but does it sink in? Does it absorb into your brain?
Can I look at it? Yeah, yes it does. You so what you trying to say I'm stupid?
The reason, yes. Yeah. You can't, you have, oh my goodness. Oh, well, there she, oh boy, oh. That was the surrender. The caller, she just said, F you, bye. She just said to me. I've got no answers. I don't want to hang up the call, so I'm going to do something to make you hang up on this call. If you're on hold, stand by. It's time for the top of the hour break. I've got to wait for the delay to build back up. She said, F you, bye, and she said it twice. There you go. Yes. All right. 1 hour down, 2 to go. Callers on hold, stand by. Back with your calls after this.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Brian Craig here. Advertising on the Steve Kane Show works. This is Scott, one of our sponsors from Cut My Kilowatts, talking about his experience advertising on the Steve Kane Radio Show.
Hey, Scott, how are you?
I am doing great, and Brian, I gotta tell you, I am on 3 radio stations, and you guys are doing better than any of the other 2.
That's amazing.
As far as bringing new clients, it's amazing. It's been amazing. We did a lady from your show yesterday, and she wants to come in there tomorrow morning with us and tell everybody about it. Yeah, so we did her home yesterday, and then a gentleman, Darcy, just called in today and booked an appointment for next Friday. So it's been going wonderful. You've just gone above and beyond my wildest expense. So much for all the great help with getting me this.
Well, that's what we like to hear. Did you hear that, guys? He's advertising on 3 radio stations, and we're doing better for him than the other ones. That's right. That's the Steve Kane Show right here. That makes me feel good. Oh, man.
Increase your company's business. Advertise on Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. Call me directly or Steve Kane, 888-465-2631. Leave a message and I'll get back to you. 888-465-2631. And we'll be hearing about you and your business on The Steve Kane Show.
Seniors, open enrollment is here. I Will Advisors is here to offer you an unbiased comparison of all your Medicare health insurance options. I Will Advisors specialize in educating Medicare beneficiaries on every available option to ensure you make the right choice for your needs. Call us directly at 954
Steve Kane Show.
8080.
Hold on.
954
Steve Kane Show.
8080.
Hold on.
Is brought to
Steve
you by
Kane Show.
Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law.
Hold on.
Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1. And...
Alrighty, welcome back. 3 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Hour number 2 has begun. There is only one opening on our board at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. If you're just tuning in, you have missed a lot. First call of the day, a fake seminar caller. And the last caller said F you to me. So, yeah, I know. That's the state of the left today. So, only one opening on the board at 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Let's go back to our phones. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Joellen from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Joellen.
That woman is just as ignorant the last time she called as she was this time. I mean, they have no talking points. Well, that's what they have, is talking points.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about what has Biden done to help people, and she's talking about, they care about the people. Well, he just put out how many thousands, millions of people, because they didn't want to take the shot, so they're without a job. No.
Well, what Biden is doing, let me tell you what Biden's doing. He's doing a lot of things, but this supply chain thing I was talking about with the caller at the end there. The supply chain problem is by design. All this stuff's out at sea. And if you just noticed last week, Jeff Bezos of Amazon, the #1 online retailer, gave millions and millions of dollars to the fake Obama Foundation. Clinton Foundation, too. And what they're trying to do, the Democrats, is put out of business brick and mortar businesses in favor of the people that give them money, which is Amazon. That's what the deal is. That's the main reason there's a supply chain crisis. It's not because Mayor Pete's incompetent. He's incompetent. He's just a useful idiot to them. But there's a big scheme here, and that's what it is.
Oh yeah, it's terrible. It's just, you go to the stores, a lot of stuff is off the shelves. You're right. It is by design, just like everything else is by design.
I was in shock. Saturday after Thanksgiving, that Walmart didn't have Christmas decorations for the lawn. I was at the Super Walmart. They had nothing. And it's supply chain. This stuff's on ships. I guess they'll get it in and save it in a warehouse till next Christmas, maybe, if they're still around.
Well, I see a lot of Christmas stuff out there.
No, I've never seen that. No. In fact, I went to a couple of stores. I went to Lowe's. After that, we went to Lowe's. They were also out of almost all of their lawn decorations. I'm not talking about Christmas lights and Christmas bulbs. I'm talking about like the bigger box items that you put in the front lawn. We were going to get a snowman or a Santa. Lowe's, they had a couple. They were almost completely out of stock too. Supply chain.
It's like one of the talk radio show host says, you know, they want to make this Democrats. They want to make us suffer and realize, you know, all the crime going on, that's going on like it is, no food, all the shortages. So we learn to depend more on government.
Correct. They're trying to break the middle class. They're trying to break the middle class and make us government dependents.
Yep.
All right. Joe Ellen in Fort Lauderdale, thanks for the call. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hey, this is Sue from Michigan.
Hey, Sue. What's up?
Hey, yeah, I was calling in regards to the lady too.
The lady that told me said "F you."
Good morning, Brian. I say the other. Golly gee, does she not know that within, I believe it was 6 hours of the placement of Biden, that he shut down the Keystone?
Yeah.
It was within.
See, gas, oil is a commodity that's based. The price of oil is based on the expectation of future supply. And what he did, he shut down ANWR, shut down the pipelines, and did other things that reduced the future expectation for the amount of oil that we would have. And then look, last week he releases oil from the Strategic Oil Reserve and gives half of it to China.
I know. What in the world? Well, you know, I've told you before, I used to work construction, and I have drove fuel trucks for about a year or so. And I think a lot of folks don't realize just how much fuel is incorporated in everybody's daily lives and the products that's made from it.
Everything that you buy is based on the price of oil because it costs money. You have to use oil to transport everything.
Yep, and you know how nobody is talking about that? You know, they want to say gas at the pump. Believe me, that hurts enough.
Yeah.
It's the behind the scenes. It's the plastics. It's the machines. I used to do rollouts for parts cleaners. Every single manufacturer that has anything to do with moving mechanical parts is going to have some sort of cleaning, some sort of lubricate.
If you buy a donut from a donut shop, it's transported there, the ingredients, you know, so the price of gasoline affects the price of everything. That's one of the main reasons we have inflation.
Yeah, absolutely everything. You know, moving parts, oils. It is so it's so, like, I don't even understand this green thing. I mean, seriously, I don't understand.
It's a scam. It's a scam because, you know, Democrats, you know, they own money in these green companies, and these they're fake companies. They don't do anything.
Oh, how the sun or solar power is going to lubricate a gear?
Yeah.
Just please answer me that.
Yeah, and even your electric cars have to be charged by coal-fired plants that produce electricity. Yeah. Yeah.
It makes I've said it before. I really feel that the big C has already, you know, corrupted, and I want to say the big, you know, taking us. We're behind the eight ball.
Well, you know, the last caller is a Democrat for a couple of reasons. Okay, the FU caller. She is a Democrat for one reason, is she was born into it, and that's how she was raised, and doesn't know any different, and obviously doesn't want to be educated, doesn't want to learn. But the other reason is it's a racial thing. I believe that she probably doesn't care for white folk all that much, and views the Republicans as the Democrat media will tell you, a white supremacist organization. Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, they brought up this entire race division, and
They tell us that the whole country was built on slavery. That slavery was god awful, and I'm sorry that the Democrats did that. Okay, but this country was not built on slavery. It was built on a lot of hard work and sacrifice of a lot of people, not slaves. I mean, the slaves may have made a lot of people rich, a lot of Democrats rich in the South, but slaves didn't build the railroad, and they didn't establish the first colonies that toughed it out during difficult times. They didn't fight against the savage Indians during the Indian Wars, and they didn't even in large numbers fight in the War of Independence or the Civil War. I mean, this country was built by a lot of people's sacrifice, and some of it was slave. Okay, I'm not going to deny that, but they act like everything was done by slaves, and white people just sat around sipping mint juleps all day, and that's not the case.
Can I say, I think if we get down right to the heart and core of it all, I think you hit it right on the head. This country was founded by Judeo-Christian values, and those values are consistently being eroded and attacked.
Mm-hmm.
And I really feel that is the demise of this country if we do not start stepping up and putting it.
Well, what they're doing is they're rewriting our history and wiping out our culture. Like there's a story today that Woodrow Wilson University is going to be renamed after Obama or something, and because Woodrow Wilson was a Klansman. Yeah, he was, but what they don't tell you in these stories is he was a Democrat. He was a Democrat, and Woodrow Wilson was a Klansman. No doubt about it, but it's another example of a racist. They're changing the name of something named after them. How do you think all these things got named after these Klansmen? Because they were Democrats. And what the Democrats are continually doing is wiping out the history of the Democrat Party. So people don't know that they were the party of Jim Crow and slavery. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah.
To a complete different subject. For years now, I don't like the commercialized of Christmas. And this year is just a great example of what is going on. For everybody out there, the moms and whatnot, if we could do like local, go to your craft stores, go to your local little knick-knack, antique.
Well, let me stop about this the commercialization of Christmas is a great thing. It's a great thing. And I'll tell you why it's a great thing. Not just because it helps the economy, and it does, and creates jobs. And how many people go and earn extra money every Christmas working in, other than the economic thing, from a Christian perspective alone, taking capitalism out of it, you've got a month of people thinking and talking about Jesus. So the commercialization of Christmas really is the proselytization time of the year. So now, from a Christian perspective, the commercializing Christmas is a good thing.
Okay.
I mean, everybody's talking. I mean, come on, everyone's talking about Jesus and the birth of Jesus and the miracle birth, the story of the Virgin Mary and everything. That's how is that not a good thing? And if it wasn't for the commercialization of it, it'd be a small holiday that even few Christians would acknowledge. So no, it's a good thing.
Agree. I wasn't saying it was a bad thing. What I was saying is to avoid or try to do more for our local communities and stuff.
Okay. All right. Listen, I gotta run, but I appreciate the call. If you're on hold, stand by. Now, of course. This is a huge deal, people, and I don't know how long this is going to stay here. At MyPillow.com right now, the Black Friday deals are still there. And if you go to MyPillow.com, click on the Black Friday deals, you're going to see incredible specials. I'm going to tell you about more as the show goes on, but there's one I got to tell you right out of the box. This is amazing. Now, you hear me talk often about the MyPillow mattress topper. And I have the 3-inch mattress topper, which is the thickest mattress topper that Mike Lindell makes. Right now, if you go to mypillow.com, click on the Black Friday specials. When you use our promo code at checkout, Kane, K-A-N-E, you can get the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper for 50% off. 50% off. But don't wait for this. I do not know how long these Black Friday deals will be on the website. I do not know. 50% off the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. This is, it's Monday after Black Friday, but the Black Friday specials are still at mypillow.com. There's a lot of other great specials there, but this one is huge, people. 50% off the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. Makes a great Christmas gift for yourself or anyone on your gift-giving list, and that's no matter what size mattress topper you buy. 50% off the thickest MyPillow mattress topper Mike Lindell makes, the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. That's what I sleep on. So go to mypillow.com, click on the Black Friday specials, and you will see it right there. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879, promo code Kane. And again, these Black Friday specials can disappear at any moment. So go to mypillow.com, take advantage of that 50% off the 3-inch mattress topper. This is the biggest sale I have ever seen at mypillow.com with the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E.
Hi, Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing and Building Restoration. We survived the 2021 hurricane season. Now it's time to get your building envelope ready for the next season. Laporta Contracting installs all types of roofs, from asphalt, clay and concrete, standing metal seam, flat roofs, and slate tile systems. Our building restoration offers complete envelope protection to include siding, stucco, concrete restoration, impact windows and doors, weatherproofing, and painting. Laporta Contracting serves single-family, multifamily, HOAs, and commercial properties. Call Laporta Contracting today for a free evaluation and estimate, and go to our website to see our team and past customer videos at laportacontracting.com. Our number is 954-604-4602. That number again is 954-604-4602. And thanks for listening to The Steve Kane Show.
We all know how beautiful and lush Florida is, with the abundance of trees and bushes. But if you want your home to look great, all of that greenery needs to be trimmed and well kept. So when it comes to trimming your trees, you want a pro, one who knows how to cut, when to cut, and the difference in each type of tree. And the best in South Florida are the professionals at GoPro Professional Property Care. With over 50 years of experience in South Florida, they know what's best for your trees and how to make your home look spectacular. With all the electrical wiring around, tree trimming is too dangerous to do yourself and requires a professional that you will not find by hiring just some guy with a truck who knocks on your front door. In fact, tree trimming is so much more than just cutting branches. It's about maintenance and keeping your trees healthy and having curb appeal. GoPro Professional Property Care is licensed and insured, available 24/7 for any tree emergency. GoPro does it all too: tree trimming, pruning, tree removal, stump grinding, root removal, lawn care, and installation. And that's just the start of what they do. Call Nathan. He's Steve Kane's personal tree trimmer, and now he wants to work with you. 954-680-7739. He's also available for condos, HOAs, and businesses. 954-680-7739. 954-680-7739. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. 954-680-7739.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We're in holiday season now, and it's been a rough start here this week on holiday season. Got one caller, fake caller, seminar caller, followed by a caller who tells me twice, F you. This is, boy, bunch of Grinches out there on the left. All right, 1-888-GO-KANE-1 is the number. You're on the radio. Good morning. What's your name?
Good morning, Senator Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug.
Okay, man, you know, it seems like all the Democrats these days don't want to talk about politics anymore that I've come up to. You know, I just met somebody the other day that every chance he had, he would say some fake news about President Trump. So now I said to him, how do you think about the gas prices? Let's not talk about politics. We have differences. You know, they don't want to talk about it because they have nothing to say.
Yeah.
Really apparent that they know that they're screwed.
Mm-hmm. Well, appreciate the call, Doug. Well, Nancy Pelosi has bought a house in Jupiter, Florida, and I believe that's her retirement home. I believe she's going to retire to Florida, and she's planning on retiring because she plans on losing the midterms. Believe me, she would not retire if she thought she was going to continue to be speaker. She's power hungry, and she wants to retire so she can do it on her own terms and not go out as the minority leader. She wants to go out as the speaker, not the minority leader. So, the Democrats know they're in trouble. All right, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Oh, hey, Wisconsin Gary, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. 27 degrees currently in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Wow.
Surrounded by snow on the ground, which I'm glad it's not in the highway.
What's the temperature?
27 degrees where I'm currently.
Wow, it's cold this morning. I'm wearing pants and a jacket. It's 63, and today's high is going to be 73.
Right. So, a lot of these people are sitting there, and I'm not going to say the explicit, but the FU caller, if she'd actually go through the internet and actually look at the Congress throughout the years about who actually who wanted to get rid of the slavery and who did not want to get rid of the slavery, it was Democrats that voted against getting rid of it. And with everything what Biden has done, because you did ask for what he has accomplished, well, let's put it this way. Back a few years ago, diesel and gas was at its all-time lowest of almost like from 1980s, where it was almost like barely under almost $1 a gallon. So, it's like what Trump accomplished was so great on everything, and the FU caller just doesn't want to admit to the things that Trump has done that accomplished so much. And then you had another caller that said about petroleum, what's all in petroleum. Believe it or not, a lot of your makeup's got petroleum in it. So all these people that are in Congress, like AOC or any woman that wears makeup, I'd hate to see them without their makeup on.
And Biden is personally responsible for shipping all the jobs to China, and also Joe Biden didn't sponsor a lot of legislation in the Senate, but he did sponsor that crime bill that put so many black people by the millions in jails across this country for petty drug crimes. So I don't know what they're talking about, where they think Biden is out there for black people or working people.
Yeah, because the other thing is with Biden, he was so for union jobs, and for the FU caller, if she doesn't know, Michael's Pipeline was a labor union contractor for pipe building. So guess what? He got rid of the jobs there, so if he was so for against unions, why did he get rid of the Michael's Pipeline?
Yeah, and I like this thing that we shouldn't build anything because those are just temporary jobs. Well, the Hoover Dam was a temporary work project. Eventually the construction ends on things and they move on to something else, but my goodness, that's crazy.
Roads start, roads finish. Up a telephone pole. It's there for probably 20, 30 years, maybe before they got to replace it, but you're not replacing a telephone pole every 3 months.
Well, you can tell when someone's watching MSNBC and they got the MSNBC CNN talking points. What's amazing to me, though, is I used to be a liberal, and even when I was on the air here, and there were two things, and this was over 20 years ago, there were two things that turned me over to becoming a Republican. One was the first year that I did my taxes and I owed money. It was either I can't remember, it was either $3,200 or $3,500, and I thought it was a mistake, so I did my taxes over again, and now I owed the money. That woke me up right quick. You know what I mean? But the other thing was listening to myself on the radio on our overnight rebroadcast on my way to work in the mornings. I sounded like that caller. I sound like an idiot, and it's amazing. And I meet listeners all the time who used to be Democrats, and they'll tell me, I listened to you guys for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, a year, and I was a Democrat, and through listening, I realized how wrong I was, and now I'm MAGA. Now I'm a Republican. So that caller, I don't know if we can save her or not, but we can try.
Well, but the other thing is I got to give you credit about, because on the podcast that I listened to last night, I give you a lot of credit that you didn't give into on Thanksgiving, talking politics. because, I mean, even for our Thanksgiving, I had to really limit what everything. It's not like we have a whole lot of liberals in our family. I mean, I've got two older siblings that are liberal, but, I mean, to try not talking politics because of it, you never know, you might be.
Well, we got a liberal in our family over at Thanksgiving dinner tried that conversion thing with me, tried to convert me, tried to turn me. And out of everyone, now I'll ask you this, see if you can get this, the answer to this. So this was our first Thanksgiving dinner as a family in a couple years, like many people, because we didn't do it last year. So we have the whole family at the Christmas table. I mean, at the Thanksgiving dinner table. There's one liberal at the table, and they try to pick a fight with me to convert me and everybody else to conservatism. What does the one liberal at the Thanksgiving table not have that everyone else does? The one liberal does not have one thing that everybody else at Thanksgiving has. What do you think that is?
Probably wearing a mega...
No. A job. They're the only one that does not have a job.
Yeah.
So everybody else at the table is a conservative, and they all have jobs. The one person without a job, just coincidentally, is the liberal. And they've never had a job as long as I've known them, and they're my relative. So there you go. Right. Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you this final question. Do you have a Menards down in your area there?
A what?
A Menards. It's like a big, it's like Lowe's, except it's just called Menards.
No, we don't have Menards.
Oh, if you probably did, you would probably be able to, your wife would probably be able to find a blow up there, because I know there's starting to be more blow up Christmas ornament stuff at
okay.
A lot of that stuff has came in now, so I don't know, even if you look on the website, you could probably find something there. Maybe they'll ship it to you if you're...
Well, there you can get the blow-ups online, but at the in-person stores, they were light. All right, hey, Gary, thanks for the call. I appreciate the call. Yeah. So I don't know. It's a sample size of one, but I don't know. Having a job and being a liberal, you know, sometimes there's conflict. But no, it's true story. I shouldn't say that. I want to give myself a choice. I do not talk about extended family on the air, and I also, that you know, I just don't like to, you know, because it'll be problems. Because Christmas dinner's coming up. And now I'll have to see them again at Christmas and have to hear me talking about them on the radio. But I doubt they're up at this hour. You know what I mean? You have to have a job to get up at this hour. Okay, our number is toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You know, Steve and I were live on Thanksgiving and Black Friday. And those of you that missed Friday's show, it was towards the end of the show. If you go on my YouTube channel and you go towards the end of the show, you can see it, because the way things, we had a happening at the end of the show, which I'm thinking might be a semi-regular thing. I don't know what's going on here, but we're at the top floor of the office building here at the radio station. We have the entire top floor of this office building as our radio station. And if you watch on YouTube, I'm facing north, behind me is south, and there's a big window behind me that you can see out on. And towards the end of Friday's show, a hawk, a massive hawk, actually flew into the window behind me, right over my right shoulder. And just a few minutes ago, I don't know if it's the same one or not, flew pretty close. And I've noticed, I don't know what's on the roof of our building, because I can't see our roof, but the building next to us has 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hawks are on the building across from us right now, and I've seen some flying off overhead. It looks like we're like in a hawk's nest here at the radio station. So I think this hawk into the window thing might become a semi-regular thing. That was when that happened on Friday's show. I jumped. I would have jumped further if I didn't have all these wires attached to me for the microphones and everything. But it scared the daylights out of me, I'll tell you that. All right, let's take our break for the bottom of the hour. 31 minutes after the hour. Our number toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's Monday. We're back live after Thanksgiving, although we were live Thanksgiving and Black Friday. So we are still live, I should say. And we'll be live all month long, even on Christmas Eve, which is on a Friday this year. All right, we'll be right back.
Brian Craig here. Conservative Doug called me up live on the air to tell me about his experience at Friendly Tire.
All right, two ball ties in the back of my Infinity. So I called them up, and I always check prices first. Half the price of everybody else.
Half the price? Half the price at Friendly Tire. Wow.
Half the price, and not only that, his tires, which nobody had, the tires I was looking at had any mileage guarantee. His is 60,000 mile warranty. So they're not only half the price, but the price is good.
So you're a repeat customer over there at Friendly Tire. You bought new tires, right? So you bought new tires, because they also sell used tires, starting at just $30 for most sizes. But you bought new tires, and they were half the price at Friendly Tire than at the other tire shops around town. That is phenomenal, and came with a 60,000 mile warranty on the tires. That's great. And of course, Friendly Tire, they never charge you to mount the tire, balance the tire, or dispose of your old tires. The price that they give you are out the door and on the road. And
everybody should go there. I don't know how anybody could buy tires anyplace else. This guy is the best prices.
That's right. That's right. Listen, give Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire a call. His number, 954-977-9445. He'll give you a quote right over the phone, 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net, or you can just stop right in. The address is listed at stevekaneshow.com. 5415 Northwest 15th Street in Margate, and that's just a little north of Coconut Creek Parkway on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Well, Conservative Doug, thanks so much, and I'm glad you got such a great deal on your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
If you
Be right back, guys. I got some water.
You know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Sole Authority. At the Sole Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware, but as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to one pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name-brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Sole Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoleauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FM-3782.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, welcome back, everyone. 35 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. It's The Steve Kane Show. Steve will be joining us in the 8 o'clock hour. We're going to make an announcement today. Now, you heard me talk last week, without using the name, that one of our listeners, one of our more active, well-known listeners in our YouTube live chat room who goes with us on our cruises, came down with the COVID and was hospitalized. And I was talking about that last week, and I didn't give out their name because they asked me to, but now things are much, much better. And I'm going to tell you who it is now, and it's Sarah. You guys all know Sarah. She calls the show. She went with us on our last cruise, and she's in our YouTube chat room every morning religiously, and she got the COVID and was hospitalized. And, I was getting worried. I know you guys were, some of you out there knew who it was, and we had asked, both Steve and I, all last week, for people in the listening audience to say a prayer for her, and she's been on oxygen all last week, but not a ventilator, not intensive care, but on oxygen. And this morning, my wife had been talking to her throughout the last week, and this morning when I got to the radio station, I got a text message from Sarah. So I knew she was doing better, and she told me she was going to be watching the show on YouTube from her hospital bed. And just a little while ago, she sent me a text talking about the liberal FU caller. And, she was talking about that caller. So I said, you must be doing a lot better, if you're commenting on the callers and everything. And she said, yeah. And I said, well, can I tell everybody you're doing well? And she said, yes. So it's Sarah. And she is still in the hospital, but she is doing much, much better. And I think we can safely say are in full recovery mode right now. So that's all great news. So everyone that has been saying prayers for Sarah, keep doing it. Don't stop. She's still in the hospital. But the power of prayer certainly works. And when she gets out of the hospital and she recovers from this, I'm sure we'll hear from her on the phone telling us her experience. And I got to tell you, it is so important to get tested. I've been tested so many times for COVID at Any Lab Test Now of Boca, our sponsor, and it's always best to know, because if you know, well, you catch things early, and you can get treatment early before it's too late and things get worse. So that's why I've gotten tested for COVID so many times, and you all should too. And at Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Coral Springs, lots of Any Lab Test Nows around. These are the only two advertising on the Steve Kane Show. But both Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs, they have same-day PCR testing. They have every COVID test you would need. Okay? Sometimes people have to get different tests for different things. They're traveling, they need a special test. They need it for work, they need it for school. There are people that have to get tested every week. Whatever test you need, they have it at low prices and no appointment necessary. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto, north of Hillsboro, on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Both locations open Monday through Saturday, by the way. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, over by the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. So get tested, guys. And anytime I got a sniffle, anytime I got an inkling, and this is my whole family, we go Any Lab Test Now of Boca and we get the test, because it's better to know and not wonder. And if you have a positive, which I've never had, and I've been tested, I can't even count how many times I've been tested. I've never had a positive, but if you got a positive, you get that treatment right away, right? So it's good. So I'm glad Sarah's doing well and is on the mend, and I'm sure it won't be much longer until she is out of the hospital and back home. All right, our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Yes, good morning, Brian.
Hi, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Barbara from Orange City, Florida.
Hey, Barbara.
I have just food for thought here, Brian. On this Maxwell trial, apparently this woman was at the Clinton's daughter's wedding, and she was photographed there. So that's kind of a who knows who. And also this new variant that they're spreading, supposedly. Why is it that the Greek alphabet, the next letter is an X? Is that not China's president?
I don't think, you're talking about President Xi, I don't think that's how they spell it in Chinese.
Oh, well, I would...
I'm sorry to interrupt the conspiracy thing here, but, because I heard the dramatic, the next letter is X, which I don't know, but they don't spell it that way in Chinese. Well, let me tell you about the Maxwell case, okay? So far as going to the Clinton wedding, Hillary Clinton went to President Trump's wedding here in Florida. Did you know that? Yeah. Do you know, and President Trump has talked about that. Do you know why she attended?
Well, I'm sure to make it look like they had some kind of friendly relation.
Nope. Not even close. Nope. She was in the Senate at the time, and President Trump paid her to come. Donated money to her. He wanted, I guess Melania wanted her there. I don't know, and he donated money to her, which is her. He paid her to be there. When these celebrity, I know we're talking about politicians, so we don't think of celebrities. You and I could have gone to Chelsea's wedding. You know how?
No.
You got to pay. You pay the Clintons. Now again, I don't have enough money. If I sold everything I owned, including my house, I wouldn't be able to come up with that kind of cash. But yeah,
We
yes.
10,000 jobs, and we never have the money.
Now I don't want you to think that I'm defending the Clintons or Giselle Maxwell. She's a pedophile groomer. Okay, I mean she's a real low-life, scummy person. But anybody could go. You just have to pay. And these celebrities and these politicians, they'll go anywhere you want if you pay them. Why do you think William Shatner went up on Bezos' rocket? Bezos paid him. Didn't just give him the free ride. Believe me, he paid William Shatner. You know, all celebrities and politicians you can hire them.
It's disgusting.
It's true.
When you look at it. Because everybody that's in Washington...
President Trump said it. Yeah, he was asked about this during there was an interview or a debate, I can't remember. It was in the 2015 campaign cycle. He was asked about Hillary coming to his wedding. And he says, I paid her. I wanted her there, so I sent her money and she came. That's what President Trump said.
Seems to be intertwined with these people. The prosecution is the daughter of Comey. How convenient. They all knew this man that supposedly hung himself. It's crazy.
Okay, now I will tell you this. Okay, I'll tell you this. And I said this at the top of the show. It would be very easy. This month is the most difficult time to do a talk radio show because the news is a little slower during holiday time. Okay? It would be easy for me. The Giselle Maxwell trial begins today. Steve and I could sit here and follow that trial like we did Rittenhouse every day of the trial and after with the verdict. And we could give you guys all kinds of false hopes and everything. Nothing is going to come of it. She will be convicted. She'll be sentenced, and all of that. But no one is going to be exposed. No one's going to be brought down. Comey, the Clintons, no one is going to be brought down. These are the way I described it at 6 when I talked about this. It's Eyes Wide Shut, the Stanley Kubrick movie with Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise. Jeffrey Epstein was the guy that owned the Eyes Wide Shut mansion, and all the rich and powerful people that run our lives in our country are members of it. That's going nowhere. And when Jeffrey Epstein, I'm sure, had videotape of everything. But it didn't disappear. Someone's got it.
There was a story that the prosecutor's daughter supposedly had something to do with the jail and the tapes that disappeared.
The tapes didn't disappear. That whatever, when Epstein died, the federal authorities went to his island and they went to his house. They took everything. So all of Epstein's materials that he had is being held by someone, probably in a government agency, to use to blackmail politicians in the future. But nothing is, and who cares if they get the Prince Andrew? Who cares about Prince Andrew? He's the one they got the most on that you hear of, and what's going to happen to him? Nothing.
Nothing ever happens to them.
Correct. So if they can't get Prince Andrew, who's a nothing, he's almost as far removed from the throne as I am. He and I have the same chance of becoming king as he does. As anybody else. But they can't even get that idiot. So nothing. So I can't get myself wrapped up in the Giselle Maxwell trial. Nothing is going to be revealed in the trial. Nothing.
It wouldn't be funny, but what would be kind of suspicious is if this woman accidentally committed suicide like everyone else's.
That would have already happened. The trial's beginning. And, like I said to you, like this thing going around that the next letter with the variants is what letter variant are we on now?
I think it's an X. I'm not sure.
Isn't it? You're not the first person I've heard. I saw that on social media over the weekend. The next letter in the alphabet is X, and that's what the Chinese president's name spelled. They don't use our alphabet in China. They have their own funny thing going on. That's not how you spell Z in Chinese.
from China, so it was.
You know, a coincidence. No, it's a coincidence. It's a total coincidence. If what you're saying is even true about the letters, I don't know. It's a coincidence. I don't know. Yeah. Well, why would the Chinese? Why would the Chinese be using the Greek alphabet?
Well, I don't know, Brian. Question.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of people making conspiracy things online all the time, and 99% of them are garbage, and that's one of them. But like this Giselle Maxwell trial, nothing will come of it. She's going to be convicted. She is a pedophile groomer, and that's it. No, there's not going to be any names. There's not going to be anyone, and I know people throw out all these big names of people from the Epstein Island. Nothing. I mean, look at they can't even get Kevin Spacey with the things he was accused of. I mean, he's going to be making movies again. Kevin Spacey. I think he might be making a movie now. To tell you the truth, they're not going to get no.
They disappear for a while and then they resurface.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How do you combat this? I mean, we're watching them try to destroy our country, and our hands are tied. And it's frustrating.
The only thing you can do is follow Trump, support Trump, and always.
I'm a senior. I voted for Obama. I hate to say it, but I thought how better to promote equality in this country other than to vote for a man who has ideas, which I thought he did.
Well, the problem they have with Trump is, unlike all these other people, he's not on the take. Trump is like, I always call Trump the untouchable because he's so rich. He's too rich to be bought. He's too rich to be bought. No.
Like we are.
Yes.
And that's why people love him, because he relates to us.
And he's not, and they don't like him. They don't like him because they can't control him. Comey tried. He took that fake dossier, threw it on President-elect Trump's desk, and said, "We can either investigate it, or it can go away." Wink, wink. And Trump said, "Get the F out of here. Get out of here. Get out of my office."
And President Trump. As he has exposed exactly what's been going on in D.C.
Yeah. Well, listen, I got to run for a break, but thanks for the call. All right, it is, oh my goodness, 49 minutes after the hour. I'm late. We'll be right back after this. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. We'll be right back.
Seniors, open enrollment is here. I Will Advisors is here to offer you an unbiased comparison of all your Medicare health insurance options. I Will Advisors specialize in educating Medicare beneficiaries on every available option.
I just got a text from Sarah. She said, "Thank you, everyone, for your prayers."
Call us directly at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Hi folks, Dr. Matez here, now with the BioStation West Delray. At BioStation West Delray, we continue to offer the highest level of experience and care you can find in the realm of hormone pellet and hormone replacement therapies. But that's just the start. We offer a full array of age management modalities, including state-of-the-art treatments for erectile dysfunction, sexual dysfunction in women, physical and sexual rejuvenation, and quite frankly, any sign or symptom of aging that you may have. And don't forget, we offer the complete array of all cosmetic modalities, including Botox, fillers, lasers, etc. Better energy, better sleep, better performance, and looks
Steve Kane Show.
If this all sounds good to you, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, 9 before 8, I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Steve will be joining us after the top of the hour break. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Hey, Brian, it's Scott Kidd.
Oh, hey, Scott.
Hey, I've got some advice for you. I know how you just cut up my advice. My parents used to have a big farmhouse out in Missouri with these big, like 10-foot tall plate glass windows in the living room. and birds used to fly into it all the time. And these little things would hit so hard they'd break their necks. So my mom asked one of the neighbor farmers if they knew anything about it, and they said what that is those birds are seeing their reflection in the glass, and they think it's another bird, and they're going after it. She went to like a local farmer. She went to a farm and home store. They sell these little vinyl. They look like silhouettes of birds, and you just put them on the inside of the window, and it keeps them from doing it. It keeps them from hitting it, and they actually work. So you could probably find them like.
Well, I'm not really worried because I would like a new window here anyway. You know, this studio that I'm in, this studio I'm in. I'm the only one who uses it at the radio station. Somebody uses it on the weekend, but during the week no one uses it. This studio used to belong to a Caribbean radio station, okay? And what they did to these windows is insane. They had all these posters taped to the window behind me, probably because at the Caribbean station, they were probably doing things and they get paranoid that people could see what they were doing. You understand what I mean? Sometimes I told the engineer he had to do some work on the board. He had to open up the board, and I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if he finds some seeds in there. You know what I mean? And there's all this tape that is permanently stuck to the tint on the window. So if one of these birds does the favor of damaging the window, I'll get some new windows and get rid of all this Scotch tape that's cooked to the glass behind me. So I'm not really interested in stopping it.
Okay, they never hit hard enough to break the window, but it's funny, you're looking at the next building wondering what all those hawks are doing. Hawks are staring at your windows, wondering why all their hawks on your building are staring back at them. So maybe.
Oh my goodness! It's like an Alfred Hitchcock movie here. There's always been birds over there. There's always been some, but maybe it's because it's the winter and all the birds are flying south to Florida. There's just more than normal, and they're territorial birds. I can tell that they're very aggressive.
I missed that on the Friday show. I never had a hawk hit one of the windows, just the little small birds, and that scared the crap out of me.
If you go to my, if you either go to my YouTube video on Friday's show or go to my social media, I did post some pictures, but if you go and watch the video, it scared the hell out of me. I jumped pretty far. It was like the last 15 minutes, 20 minutes or so of the show on Friday.
I listened to you on Friday, but I left the apartment early, so I cut off early.
Oh, shame on you. You can't miss a minute of this show. You never know what will happen.
So since then, I can't download the iHeartRadio app. There's a geographical restriction, but I've downloaded a different radio app, and I actually found your WNN on there.
What app? TuneIn?
TuneIn. So I'm able to walk around now with a Bluetooth headset in and listen to.
Well, you'll never miss a syllable out of my mouth again then. By the way, you can listen to my podcast on that app too. So check it out, the Brian Craig Show podcast. I'm on most podcast players. All right, take care, man. Take care. I'm not going to get into anything new until after the top of the hour when Steve joins us. But I wanted to talk just a second here, just because I'm getting a lot of messages about the Giselle Maxwell case. There are certain things that aren't going anywhere. Like I'll give you an example. Steve and I used to take a lot of heat for this. Steve and I did not talk about the southern border problem until President Trump came down the escalator. And people would get very upset with us that we wouldn't talk about the southern border. And there was a reason why. Because before Trump came down the escalator, it was a problem that was never going to be solved because no one was going to do anything about it. Either side. And you can see the Republicans, the Republicans controlled both houses of Congress during Trump's first 2 years, and Paul Ryan and these lowlives did everything they could to stop Trump from getting that wall built. And we didn't talk about it because it was a problem that had no solution. No one was ever going to do, and then Trump came down the escalator and said he would do something about it and was very specific how. So then we started talking about it. There are certain issues that I can't sit here and give you false hope that Giselle Maxwell is going to uncover this deep, seedy, the sex scandals of Washington, and people are going to be brought to justice. This story that's out right now from Miranda Devine's new book on Hunter Biden, there's a lot of new information in that story about Hunter Biden taking bribes from the Chinese. We've heard the story about the jewels before, but now there's a lot of money involved too. And she did some very good reporting, Miranda Devine. You see her on Fox. She's very, very good. And this new book of hers is coming out, which I have on pre-order. And she talks about a lot of these things, but she's backed it up with evidence. A lot of the things that have been alleged against Hunter Biden, she's proven in her reporting. And it's very interesting and very exciting. But Hunter and Joe Biden will never be brought to justice. If one of the Trump children were involved in just one of the things that Hunter did, it'd be over for Trump and the family. And this guy, he's had so much, crap come out about him, including the sex tapes from the laptop of him pouring his heart out to hookers. Hunter Biden is such a tragic. He has such a terrible relationship with his father, because his father. When you hear Joe Biden talk about his family, he never talks about Hunter. Everything's always about Beau, and Hunter is just someone that he uses. And Hunter knows this, and that's why he's got the substance abuse problem, and he's so sad. He's always pouring his heart out to prostitutes, and then he films it while he's pouring his heart out. And when Hunter dropped the laptop off at that computer repair shop, that wasn't by accident. Very few people get computers repaired anymore. Very few people. You just get a new one. Especially when you're rich like Hunter. Hunter didn't do that. Someone like Hunter doesn't take a computer to get repaired. He dropped that computer off and left it there because he wanted the material in that computer made public to get his daddy's attention. And the Miranda Devine story and her book are going to bring out a lot of scummy things about the Bidens. Not going anywhere. These people have complete immunity from any type of consequence. And one of the biggest mistakes people make when they're analyzing Biden is going by the poll numbers. He doesn't care about the poll numbers. He does not care about the poll numbers. He spent half a century, can you believe, he spent half a century in the Senate. The Congress always has historically low poll numbers. He's had an entire life of low poll numbers. They never bothered him. They're certainly not going to stop him now. And that's the world of Joe Biden. All right, now we're going to take our break for the top of the hour. Steve will be joining us, and we'll recap some of the big stories, bring up some others, and also huge offer from MyPillow this morning, which I'll share with you after the top of the hour break. 2 hours down, 1 to go. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this.
Covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
We all know how beautiful and lush Florida is, with the abundance of trees and bushes. But if you want your home to look great, all of that greenery needs to be trimmed and well kept. So when it comes to trimming your trees, you want a pro, one who knows how to cut, when to cut, and the difference in each type of tree. And the best in South Florida are the professionals at GoPro Professional Property Care. With over 50 years of experience in South Florida, they know what's best for your trees and how to make your home look spectacular. With all the electrical wiring around, tree trimming is too dangerous to do yourself and requires a professional that you will not find by hiring just some guy with a truck who knocks on your front door. In fact, tree trimming is so much more than just cutting branches. It's about maintenance and keeping your trees healthy and having curb appeal. GoPro Professional Property Care is licensed and insured, available 24/7 for any tree emergency. GoPro does it all too. Tree trimming, pruning, tree removal, stump grinding, root removal, lawn care, and installation. And that's just the start of what they do. Call Nathan. He's Steve Kane's personal tree trimmer. And now he wants to work with you. 954-680-7739. He's also available for condos, HOAs, and businesses. 954-680-7739. 954-680-7739. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. 954-680-7739.
Seniors, open enrollment is here. I Will Advisors is here to offer you an unbiased comparison of all your Medicare health insurance options. I Will Advisors specialize in educating Medicare beneficiaries on every available option to ensure you make the right choice for your needs. Call us directly at 954-753-2727. 8080. 954-753-8080. The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1.
All right, third and final hour has begun. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve.
Good morning. How are you today?
Oh, man, you've missed a lot today. We had a seminar caller, first call of the week, and then after that, a liberal lady called in, and I just asked her a question or two, and she said, F you, twice, really loud, the whole words, and hung up.
Here.
I know.
High-class folks.
Well, it's the holiday season. You would think they would,
I want to, before we get, I'm very excited that you showed up with a lot of stuff that you want to talk about, and I'm ready to do that. But first, I wanted to disagree with you on one thing you mentioned in the last hour. It could catch up with Joe Biden, and he could lose his presidency over this.
The Miranda Devine book?
Yes. If it's not the Republicans he has to worry about in Congress. If the people behind Joe Biden who've been holding him up the whole time, and the people who we continually refer to the fact that he's a puppet, and that there's a crew of people who run the White House, and he's just a figurehead. You agree with that, right?
No, I don't think he's at any risk of anything.
Wait. You think he's making his own decisions?
Oh, no. No, he's not making his own decisions.
That's what I'm talking about. The people behind Biden, when they've had enough, when they can see 2 elections down the road, and where the Democrats are going to lose power for a couple of decades, they will be the ones that go to him and say, look, we've tried to hold all this stuff back, but it's going to come out. Now's the if you want to avoid that, that's what happened with Nixon.
No, it's not. This is the thing. The people that control Biden, there's no one they can plug in that they can control as well as Biden. This Miranda Devine stuff is going to be very interesting, and a lot of sleaze is going to come out. That's the only thing that has Biden in any type of political danger at all is I was watching Fox over the weekend, and talk has begun that second bill will be dead by Christmas. So when he doesn't deliver to the donors, then he'll be in trouble. You can take bribes and be corrupt, but if you don't come through to the donors with their payoffs, then you're in trouble.
Oh, look! Now you're projecting he's not going to make it because.
Oh, they're not. He's not going to resign. He's not going to resign. No. He'll finish out his term. He's not resigning. No, he's not. He'll finish out his term. He'll finish out his term. He's not going to resign.
Just giving you an alternate point of view. That's all.
I mean,
Had enough of Biden. I'm talking about that thin. I'm talking about basically all the Obama people that run his life and the Clinton people that run his life. When they've had enough, they'll tell him it's time.
See, they control Biden, but Kamala is not controllable. They can't control Kamala.
Kamala is the thing that keeps Biden in office.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I haven't quite figured out that, but they figured out the first part of it. The first part being when they're ready to hold pull the cord or whatever it is, that they can get rid of Biden. They've got that part mastered. They don't know what to do about Kamala. And it's quite a problem they have.
Yeah.
Question.
Now you agree with me this Giselle Maxwell trial is going nowhere, right? That's nothing. That's a big nothing.
No.
No, I know people getting excited about it, but there's nothing to get excited about.
It could have come out, would have come out.
Yeah. I mean, you know, she's a creep, she's a groomer, she was working for a pedophile. And a lot of, they keep asking, you know, because she's rich too. She has money. She's a millionairess. She's very wealthy. Her family's wealthy. She was living, when they nabbed her, she was in a mansion. They nabbed her from her house, which was her father's money, her money. She's rich. And you know, and they keep asking, why would a rich girl be involved with this pedo? Because she's a freak too. That's why. You know, it's just, you know, whatever. I wish it would go somewhere and expose some of these people, but that's never going to happen. I'm sorry, guys. I wish that it would.
One other little thing I wanted to ask you about. You made a reference that I haven't heard anywhere else, and I'd like to get some detail on if you have it. It's one of those ones that appears on the internet but not in the newspapers. What is this thing that Biden has been giving gas, not selling our reserves, and giving them to China?
I saw it on Fox over the weekend that 50% and elsewhere, 50% of the oil that he's releasing from the National Strategic Reserve is going to China. It's been reported in multiple places.
They get circulation on that story.
I saw it. Well, I saw it on television all weekend. I saw it on TV last week and over the weekend. But because it's a holiday time, things can be in the news and people don't notice as much because things don't get noticed during a holiday period. And we had we had Thanksgiving and Black Friday, and it was all over the place during those days. But it was Thanksgiving time. And that's just, you know, that's just the way it is. And it's already been done. Biden has complete immunity. He can do whatever he wants.
Then what are you talking? What is all this talk you've been giving about how the people that are pulling his strings? Is that the first?
That's why he sent that's why he sent the oil to China, because the people behind him wanted him to do it. This guy doesn't make any decisions on his own.
True.
No. Prior to Trump, not all the presidents were under control of somebody. That's why they hate Trump, is he wasn't under anyone's control. All the presidents other than Trump have been under the control of outsiders. Biden maybe just a little bit more because he's more corrupt. They've got some power, but no, it's I think.
Disagree with the statement that there is a point in this drama that we're living through where the Democrats can get irreparably harmed for generations.
Oh yeah, I was talking about. That's why Nancy Pelosi's moving to Jupiter, here to Florida. She's planning on retiring because she expects to lose the Congress, and she wants to retire as Speaker, not retire as the Minority Leader.
But the next 30.
Well, let's hope.
Additional damage from this point on. We know what we know. We don't know what we don't know.
Well, they're making a big mistake with the new variant because people are tired of lockdowns and shutdowns, and they're making moves to start more shutdowns and lockdowns and restrictions, and people are pretty fed up with that.
Variant is not that lethal.
They'll go tell that to the governor of New York, who's flipping out right now. They got a lady governor up there, and she's hysterical. Let's take some calls, though. Let me give out the number. It's 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hi. This is Janet from Coral Springs, and I'm calling in response to the listener that's kind of on the border of leaving the Democratic Party, in my opinion. It's in denial, but the bottom line is a lot of Democrats have left and gone to the Republican Party. And in the Republican Party, now we've got like the best.
Which caller are you referencing that's on the borderline of leaving the Democrat Party?
The one that said F you.
The lady that said F you twice to me, you think is about to leave the Democrats?
Yeah, she's struggling. She's struggling with the truth. Trump was a Democrat. Reagan was a Democrat. There's a lot of people that used to be Democrats, and they left.
Yeah, but that caller, unlike President Reagan and President Trump, that caller is not very smart.
Well, and I also think that Trump won because he represents.
Really? What about Trump represents the best of the Democrats?
Well, he used to be a Democrat, but the Democratic Party isn't what it used to be, period. It just isn't. It's unrecognizable now.
Really? Tell me about the day when did we have a good party with the Democrats?
Well, when they were on balance with environment.
Well, who was the Democrat president during the time of good times for the Democrats when they were good?
Well, I put it this way. I think that in the 70s there was such anti-war sentiment, and people were looking for somebody that would not.
And the Democrat, and they were looking to Jimmy Carter for that, who wrecked the. When you say that the Democrats used to be good, when did we have a good Democrat president?
When they weren't being totally socialistic.
Well, give me a name. Give me a name.
Well, I don't know. I thought Carter was a moderate, and Kennedy. There have been.
Kennedy is the Vietnam War escalated because of Kennedy, but Carter was good.
Because of Johnson.
Well, who brought Johnson in? Okay, but yeah.
Well, that's my perspective on this. Is that there's a lot of Republicans.
I'm trying to get to this thing. This is a call I've never heard someone say that Jimmy Carter was good. He put him. What did he do that was good? Jimmy Carter.
Well, he was very well meaning on a lot of issues, like.
Yeah, like the humiliation. This is what's going on with you. This is what's going on. Let me tell you what's going on with you, caller. Hold on. This is what's going on with you. Okay, you used to be a Democrat. Correct. Okay, and you're looking back. You were a Democrat. Okay, yeah, but you used to be a Democrat, like when Jimmy Carter was around. And you don't like to think that you were wrong and misguided back then. You were supporting.
I think I was very young and ignorant back then.
Then how can you say the Democrats have always been terrible people? They've always been socialist. Lyndon Johnson is the one that gave. Look, the Democrats destroyed the black family with Lyndon Johnson. With the Great Society, they broke up the black family. It's never recovered. Jimmy Carter wrecked the economy. Bill Clinton, 9/11 happened. 9/11 happened. Hold on. 9/11 happened because Bill Clinton, on 2 different occasions, would not take out Osama bin Laden. So he's responsible for 9/11.
You were a Democrat too. Why were you voting for Democrats?
Because I was a kid.
Thank you. I was too, Brian.
Yeah, but you don't hear me praising the Democrats like you're doing.
Anthony Sinema. They're good Democrats in my.
Well, no. Sinema's doing one thing right now that we like. Yeah, Steve, you're off mic. You're off mic. Sinema. Okay, Sinema. Exactly.
What's his name?
Correct. I mean, you're not going to have a person.
You like Sinema. Go ask Sinema her thoughts on abortion. Let's see what she tells you. See if you like that answer. She's doing one thing we like right now, and I stand by her for that. But I'm waiting for the good Democrat. They've all been terrible people.
Are you telling me as a human being, Brian, as a human being, that there's no difference between Joe Biden and John F. Kennedy?
Well, you take one. You got one Democrat who has a saintly life because he was killed in office. Because he was killed in office in his first term, he has there's a saintly image around him.
Oh. I don't know. That's underrating John F. Kennedy.
What's his greatest accomplishment?
Who, Kennedy?
Yeah.
Well, he got killed. He got killed before he could accomplish.
Are you kidding? He was in his third year when he died.
We're talking character.
Oh, character. He was passing Marilyn Monroe around with his brother. He had his wife. He had his wife hooked on drugs with Dr. Feel. What about it? What about he got Jackie hooked on drugs with Dr. Feelgood at the White House? He was having an affair with a Nazi during the Second World War, a Nazi spy when he was stationed in Washington.
Talking about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about his view of the country.
But what was his what was Kennedy's greatest accomplishment? He had 3 years.
All right. Look, you
compare. No, I don't. Look at and Trump, Steve.
No difference. Let me just get this out. When you say there's no difference character-wise between JFK and this monster we have in the White House now, you lose everybody.
I don't think so. And I'll tell you, I don't agree. People it was just hidden about Kennedy. Look at what Trump did in 3 years, right? Black unemployment lowest in record. Gas prices lowest. We became the #1 exporter of oil. He had the wall almost completed. He was and
accomplishments. I'm going.
Oh, so he had no accomplishments, Kennedy. He didn't even
killed.
He had 3 years, Steve. He had 3 years. 3 years he had.
Right. Obviously, Trump saw some good things in the Democrat Party. He wouldn't have been.
No, he was born. President Trump was born in New York City. When you're born in New York City, excuse me.
Needed to be fit.
No, when you're born, the reason Trump was a Democrat for 2 reasons. One, when you're born in New York City, they give you a Democrat voter registration with your birth certificate. Second, if you go back and listen to Trump's interviews, like with Sally Jesse Raphael and Rona Barrett in the early 80s, he was saying the same things then as he says now. He had to be a Democrat to do business in New York. So no, he wasn't a Democrat. No, I'm sorry. Kennedy has very few accomplishments, and neither of you can name one. He was president for 3 years. What did he do? He gave
America feel good about me.
Feel good?
That's what he
really. When he gave Cuba to the commies, and it's still communist because of him. That was the Cuban Missile Crisis was a loss. It was a loss.
You're not going to win this debate.
But Brian, I agree with you on those things. But my Democrat years were when I was young and ignorant, to be quite honest. Okay?
Yeah, but you're not young and you're not ignorant now, and you're still defending Democrats.
Why don't we go by? Hold on. Why don't we go by the fruit from the trees and compare the children of Biden to the children of Donald Trump? Because let's face it,
so you've given up on Kennedy? You've given up on Kennedy?
No, not at all.
I mean, Mary Jo Kopechne would be alive if it wasn't for Kennedy.
Okay, all right.
His brother got elevated.
You just can't compare that.
There's no difference between Ted Kennedy and
JFK Jr. was so arrogant. He not only killed himself in a plane he wasn't qualified to fly at night. He killed his sister-in-law, and his wife. Hey, well, listen. There's only one opening on the board. Oh, Steve doesn't want to hear it. There's only one opening on the board.
You're not going to believe me, so I figure we put some listeners up.
We'll go back to the callers after the break. Okay? Steve doesn't want to hear it, but I don't think Kennedy was a great president. I mean, I feel bad for the guy. He was interesting.
I say he was a great president. I said he had a character, and he had
yeah, it was low. Low.
The thing he shares with Donald Trump is the ability to make Americans feel great about our country.
Now,
no small thing.
Okay. Now,
you look at this man in the White House, Joe Biden. It makes you.
Kennedy was just like Biden. It was just hidden. We just know that scummy stuff about Biden. Now we may. If you're on hold, stand by. Steve's afraid to go to the calls on this. He's trying to get me not to go to the calls, but we will after the break.
To go to the calls.
Oh, after the break. Now, we may disagree on Kennedy, but I know we don't disagree about Mike Lindell, the inventor of the MyPillow. And Mike Lindell, now I've been telling you guys this morning. This could disappear at any time. At MyPillow.com, they have the Black Friday specials still available right now at MyPillow.com with the promo code Kane. And there's a lot of specials there, but the biggest one is on the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. This is a huge special. You do not want to waste time and not take advantage of this, because I'm shocked that the Black Friday specials are still on the website, but they are. Now, the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper is the mattress topper that I have from MyPillow. It is the thickest mattress topper that Mike Lindell makes. Right now, go to MyPillow.com, click on the Black Friday specials. It's Monday after Black Friday. They're there. You can get, with our promo code, Steve's all choked up about it. You can get the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper for 50% off. 50% off. This is the lowest price ever, and this special could disappear at any time because we're a few days past Black Friday. So go to MyPillow.com, click on the Black Friday specials, the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, 50% off with the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. You can also order by phone, 800-716-4879. 800-716-4879. We'll be right back after this.
Got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus?
Steve Kane Show.
Lori did, and she went to any lab test now of Coral
Hold on.
Springs to
Steve
find
Kane
out
Show.
if she has coronavirus.
So
Hold
I
on.
came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to any lab test now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to any lab test now at Coral Springs. They give great rates for Steve Kane listeners, and tell them we sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. Brian Craig here. Conservative Doug called me up live on the air to tell me about his experience at Friendly Tire.
I had 2 ball ties in the back of my Infinity. I called them up, and I feel like I always really check prices first. Half the price.
Pamela, $20 super chat. Thank you. Brian, you are 100% right. Well, thank you, Pamela, and everyone thank Pamela.
His tires, which nobody, the tires I was looking at, had any mileage guarantee. His is 60,000 mile warranty. So they're not only half the price.
They're looking back from when they were liberals. They thought it was a good time. Kennedy was just as scummy as Biden. It's just people didn't know about it. He was probably scummier.
Bought new tires, and they were half the price at Friendly Tire than at the other tire
Yeah,
shops.
organized crime family.
And came with a 60,000 mile warranty on the tires. That's great. And of course, Friendly Tire, they never charge you to mount the tire, balance the tire, or dispose of your old tire.
And the space program was Eisenhower, not Kennedy.
Everybody should go there. I don't know how anybody could buy tires anyplace else. This guy is the best prices.
That's right. That's right. Listen, give Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire a call. His number, 954-977-9445. He'll give you a quote right over the phone, 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net, or you can just stop right in. The address is listed at stevekaneshow.com. 5415 Northwest 15th Street in Margate, and that's just a little north of Coconut Creek Parkway on the east side of 441 State Road 7.
And he lied constantly.
I'm glad you got such a great deal on your tires at Friendly
About
Tire
his
in
back
Margate.
problem? He didn't hurt his back in the PT accident.
Just search for WWNN.
All right. One opening on the board at 1-888 go. Kane 1. We've got some Democrats in recovery here, Steve, and some of our callers who took a little nip of that Democrat Party something over the weekend. All right, our number 1-888 go. Kane 1. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian and Steve.
Oh, hey, Andrea.
Good morning.
How are you? How are you?
Can you help straighten Brian out here? I'm good.
Well, I could help you straighten Brian out there because I didn't agree with Brian. Sorry. But here's the thing. So I've been listening to the show all morning. And now I'm about to say something that's going to make me very unpopular.
Uh-oh.
The reason why we are in this position with our elected officials, you know, not being held accountable for their corruption, not being held accountable for, you know, doing things that are clearly destroying this country, how they got above the law is because we let them get above the law. The reason why our country stayed locked down for 2 years is because we let them lock us down for 2 years. We, the people, have all the power. People can only do to you what you will let them do to you. So I deal with people who have weight problems, right? Am I responsible for them? No. They ate the donuts. They're responsible. We're in this situation because we have let it happen. We have let communists infiltrate every area of our society with no pushback. It's death by 1,000 cuts. We let it happen, and now we have to unlet it happen. But the thing that scares me, and I'm hoping that Steve can kind of talk me down off the ledge, Joe Biden, when he was about to take office, he made a statement, and it stuck with me, and it haunts me every day. He said, I don't know if there's going to be a Republican Party. And my fear is, now that they're purging the military of patriots, my fear is they're going to use the military to...
They're using now. What they're doing is they're using January 6th to declare Republicans domestic terrorists. That's what they're trying to do. And you know, after January 6th, I was very angry at everybody that went in that building, and I still am. You know, and that's because for the rest of my life, they're going to throw that in my face. We lost the moral high ground with that, regardless of how it really happened. Okay, I don't want to. I'm not. You know what I mean? It happened, and they're going to use January 6th against us forever. We lost the moral high ground in the argument because you could go on CNN before that and say, hey, Republicans don't take to the streets. Republicans are law and order people. They will always point to that. And even though I'm not talking about why it really happened and who was behind it, I know all that, but that's going to be the way it is, and that's what they've done. And this thing with Fauci I was talking about earlier, implying that Senator Ted Cruz had a role with January 6th, you know, with Trump. You know, that's how they're thinking in Washington.
Race card, you know.
Yeah.
They've got 2 or 3 lines that they use to divert from the public's attention from who they really are. And one is the race card, and the other is this revolutionary thing that they've invented.
Mm-hmm.
They're turning the DOJ. Like now they're turning the DOJ on to American citizens.
Well, look,
like they're
attempting to. They're attempting to weaponize it. They're making a good shot at it. But whether they get away with it is still remains to be seen. The final act of the military department is still an act in progress, an event in progress. Don't you think?
I do think that, but the things that I'm seeing are incredibly concerning to me.
Look, everybody's concerned, but you're unnecessarily scaring yourself. I mean, if you look at the polls and you look what's going on, I mean, I will tell you on a personal level, I can't conceive of Joe Biden finishing his term. And the public opinion, I don't see how he makes it to the end of his. Do you? Now, what comes after Joe Biden? That's problematic, and that's something that's fun to speculate about. But
well, it's Kamala. There's no speculation. She's the vice president.
People hate her.
Yeah.
The only reason why they will prop him up till the very end is because.
Well, they'll try, but he's done well.
Now listen, we gotta take a break. But Andrea, thanks for the call. Those of you on hold, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
Full and lush Florida is, with the abundance of trees and bushes. But if you want your home to look great, all of that greenery needs to be trimmed and well kept. So when it comes to trimming your trees, you want a pro, one who knows how to cut, when to cut, and the difference in each type of tree. And the best in South Florida are the professionals at GoPro Professional Property Care. With over 50 years of experience in South Florida, they know what's best for your trees and how to make your home look spectacular. With all the electrical wiring around, tree trimming is too dangerous to do yourself and requires a professional that you will not find by hiring just some guy with a truck who knocks on your front door. In fact, tree trimming is so much more than just cutting branches. It's about maintenance and keeping your trees healthy and having curb appeal. GoPro Professional Property Care is licensed and insured, available 24/7 for any tree emergency. GoPro does it all too: tree trimming, pruning, tree removal, stump grinding, root removal, lawn care, and installation. And that's just the start of what they do. Call Nathan. He's Steve Kane's personal tree trimmer, and now he wants to work with you. 954-680-7739. He's also available for condos, HOAs, and businesses. 954-680-7739. 954-680-7739. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. 954-680-7739.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
Oh man, hey Steve, have the neighbors come over to thank you for having GoPro come out and trim your out-of-control trees yet?
As a matter of fact, yes.
I knew it.
We saw them over the weekend, and they appreciated what we'd done to appreciate the value of both of our properties.
I am shocked.
What a great Nathan is just unbelievable. He comes out, he makes sure everything is perfect. He makes sure that the cleanup that they did and everything is like unbelievable. That's another thing. One of the things when you have massive work done, as we had with our trees, there's a whole lot of refuse that goes with that, and a lot of people that do trees, the guys that knock on the door, they just leave it there for you to work.
Well, you know what it is when you have, Nathan at GoPro, okay, they're yeah. And, they're GoPro, the Pro is for professional, and trimming trees, it's really an art form, and tree trimming really does it's more like sculpting, like a master artist. There's a certain way to trim the branches so that you not only trim the tree properly for the type of tree it is, but also sculpt it in a shape that is appealing, gives you that curb appeal, and looks beautiful, as opposed to someone that you hire in a truck, or me, and you just are chopping away, you don't know what you're doing. They actually shape and sculpt the entire tree, and they do amazing work. All right, now we yeah.
Don't think about, but you have an investment in your property, and that investment is only enhanced by great tree trim by the good folks at GoPro.
Yeah, so give them a call, and we'll go back to our phones. 1-888-Q Kane 1. I've lost track of who's called in what order, so if you've been on hold for a long time and I Don't go right to you. Bear with me. We will get through the calls, I promise you. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Yes. Good morning, Brian. This is Stacy in Deerfield Beach.
Stacy in Deerfield. What's up?
I just want to give a shout out to all your sponsors. I went and I purchased the My Pillow topper, and it wasn't through your Steve Kane.
Of course it is. Of course it is, yeah.
Just wanted to 100% Mike Lindell.
Awesome. Thank you.
You know, you guys are awesome. And I just wanted to say I'm going to go today. Today's my day off. And I'm going to go to Champaign Automotive to get my car serviced.
Oh, that's great.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and get my, car service and so forth.
Well, let me tell you about Champaign Auto before you get to the last one there. Champaign Automotive Repair. Steve and I spent a long time looking for an auto repair shop to advertise on the Steve Kane Show. Not because we couldn't find someone that was willing to give us money, finding someone that we can trust to send our listeners to. That's a very difficult task, and Champaign Automotive Repair will never do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle does not need, and you'll never hear another auto repair shop tell you that.
You guys are phenomenal. I love your show. And not only that, I may have to get tires.
Oh.
I'm going to go.
Friendly Tire in Margate, yes.
Tomorrow is my Black Friday.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, and I really appreciate your show. Unfortunately, these people who are Democrats, they think differently. I'm a staunch Republican. I've always,
Well, what we're dealing with here, okay, listen. Most people are liberal when they're kids because you're young and dumb. You don't know what the hell's going on, and you don't have any skinny. But I did not coin this saying. One of our listeners did a long time ago, called in and said this. This is not my original thought, but it's a good one. What you have with Steve, the Kennedy lover, Carter lover caller, these are MAGA people. But liberalism, it's a lot like overcoming liberalism is a lot like overcoming alcoholism. Someone overcomes alcohol, they're sober for 30 years, they walk by a bar, they stop in and have a nip or two, and then they're off the wagon. And what we've heard a little bit today are some recovered liberals that fell off the wagon a little bit. But that's okay, they'll be back on the Trump train soon enough.
hey, I was like you. When I was, I should reiterate that. When I was young, when I was 20, I was, and then I started voting. I actually voted for Clinton. And
oh my goodness.
He came down. I'm sorry.
I never voted for a Democrat for president. My first time I voted for Ross Perot, not Clinton. But hey, listen, thanks for using all of our sponsors, and they'll take good care of you.
So thanks.
All right, take care. All right, good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Democrat for president.
You got to turn down the volume of whatever you're listening to us on, caller. All right. This person's been on hold for about 45 minutes too. I feel awful. Okay, I'm sorry. You got it. When you're on hold, because a lot of people are new to the show, they're not aware. We are on delay, and the delay will vary depending on where. If you're listening to us on the radio, what you were hearing on the radio was 40 seconds ago. And the reason we're on a delay is for things earlier when the woman told me F you and then hung up, So when you're on hold, you've got to listen on your phone, because if you're listening on your radio or online, what you're hearing could be as far as a minute-long delay if you're listening on some of the online platforms. All right, our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. But I'll tell you, Steve, that this bill, they were reporting over the weekend that the word in Washington is it's going to be dead by Christmas. And this is a big deal, not just because it's going to save the country from having another quadrillion-dollar bill passed, but this is the problem. The Democrats have not been able to deliver to the donors. And right after the first of the year, we are in midterm election season. And they're going to have a difficult time going to their donors for big donations when they didn't deliver on that bill that they've promised them. So the defeat is more important than just saving the country financially.
Big party.
Yeah.
When you come down to the bottom line.
It's like a Christmas gift to us they're giving us, the Democrats.
And it's going to get worse before it gets better. Keep using.
Before it gets better, yes.
Haven't bottomed out yet.
That's right.
Worse before it gets better. How much worse? Well, it remains to be seen. Depends how long it takes for America to wake up.
Yeah, that's right. All right, let's go back to the phones. Good morning. You're on the radio. Good morning. Yes, you're on the air. Speak up.
Hey, Brian. I just wanted to talk about what you said about JFK.
Okay.
I don't know how old are you?
You will not hear me say this very often. I am 50.
Old enough to know better.
Okay, I'm 63. And I was 6 or 7 years old when he got assassinated. And I was a Democrat. And I was a Democrat because of him. Through all the years, after I couldn't understand why everybody was so upset about this guy on TV that they showed the funeral. So I started doing my research. I read every book that there was ever printed about JFK. And I can tell you, he was the things that he did that you're letting your bias cloud your judgment.
Well, give me an example of something he did.
He was trying to disband the 3 alphabet letter agencies. He was trying to disband the Federal Reserve and get it back.
No. What did he do though?
We plead guilty to him getting shot.
3 years in. 3 years in, Steve. He was president for 3 years.
Steve, I'm waiting.
What does that mean?
Plenty of time. Look how much Trump did in 3 years.
I know, and I'm a Trump supporter all the way, but he's had his faults too.
You know, and what makes everyone think he was going to get rid of the CIA? I hear people talk about that all the time. What did he ever do to get rid of the CIA? Let me tell you what there is with Kennedy. I read a book about Kennedy, which is the best book ever written about Kennedy. It's called An Unfinished Life. It's called An Unfinished Life. I can't remember the name of the author. And he was an interesting person who did a lot as a young man and everything else. He had an interesting life, no doubt about it. But he was a crook. He was corrupt as Biden. Okay? Do you know how he got elected? He was as corrupt as Biden, probably more corrupt, because his whole family was behind it. Okay? And because he was assassinated, he's up there like with Princess Diana and Marilyn Monroe with these saintly-like figures.
As far as Vietnam, he sent in peaceful political advisors.
Oh my goodness! Advisors was code word for soldiers. They called the army advisors. No. He escalated the war in Vietnam. Johnson escalated it further. But when they talk about advisors, those were U.S. troops this is what the deal is with Kennedy. Advisors, you think they sent a bunch of guys over there to give their opinion and advice? No, advisors are regular U.S. Army soldiers that they would send over there who would fight alongside the South Vietnamese army. They called them advisors, but they were troops, regular army. This is the deal, okay? A lot of people that are Kennedy lovers, they have this history of everything that he was going to get rid of the CIA and Hoover and everything else, but he an unfinished life. He didn't have time. He had 3 years. He didn't do one damn thing. He didn't even start the space program they give him credit for. Eisenhower did that. Okay? Come on.
Do you not think that Trump has never told a lie?
What does that got to do with Kennedy? He's never told a lie that I know of. Can you name a lie that Trump has told? I don't know of one. Well, tell me a lie that Trump's told us.
Well, I'm sure.
You're sure?
What
does that have to do with Kennedy? You're trying to soil the reputation of Trump because you can't defend Kennedy?
No, because I am a Trump supporter.
Okay.
But I am saying that even though I am a Trump supporter and I am on the Trump train and I am a conservative now, I can still see both sides. I can still see fault with people that are...
You know, Kennedy even screwed up in the war. Kennedy drove his PT boat in front of a Japanese destroyer and got it run over and sunk. Okay? I mean, Kennedy, this revisionist history on President Kennedy is... He was not the man you think he was. And I'll tell you another thing, too. He was a racist. You know, when you watch the footage, of him arriving in Dallas, look at all the Confederate flags that they're waving in front of him. He was down there to get the racist Southern vote. Yeah, that's why he was in Texas. He was gearing up for his re-election. His poll numbers were low. Go back. You may not have noticed this before. Go on YouTube and look at the crowds along the road in Dealey Plaza and at the airport. And they've got an American flag in one hand and the Confederate flag in the other, and they're waving that Confederate flag. Well, he was down there for the racist vote.
He's a politician.
I don't see Trump out there trying to get racists to vote for him. He condemns racism, not Kennedy.
So you're saying that a Southern person who believes in the South, who flies a Confederate flag, can't be a Trump supporter?
Well, if you go back to 1963, the Democrats were still lynching black people and segregating them back then. So yes, in 1963, the Southern white Democrats were racist segregationists. Absolutely, yes. And he was down there to get the vote of the racist segregationist. President Trump in Charlottesville, there were good people there, and I'm not talking about the racist white supremacist, he said. That's not what Kennedy said. You're a racist lyncher? Vote for me, is what Kennedy was saying.
Really? When did he say that?
Well, by going down to the South in 1963, and they're waving Confederate flags at him. That's what...
You just made that up.
He didn't say it with his words, Steve. He didn't say it with his words.
In words, he's
with actions. His actions.
Actions. He got off the plane at the airport. Is that?
And greeted by white supremacist segregationists with Confederate flags at Love Field. Yes.
Lives in Texas.
No, that's not who lives in Texas. Not now. Was then.
Well,
I didn't. Yeah, no. Richard Nixon didn't go down there for that racist vote. Hey, take care, caller. We got to run for a break. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back.
Open enrollment is here. I Will Advisors is here to offer you an unbiased comparison of all your Medicare health insurance
Steve Kane
options.
Show.
I will advise.
Oh, I was just calling you the other line. Hold on.
Educating Medicare beneficiaries on every available option.
Wayne, $10 super chat. Thank you. Everyone thank Wayne. Democrats filibuster the Civil Rights Act. That's right.
954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, and it's time for the first gold and precious metals report of the week. On the line from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca, we have William Youngerman. William Youngerman, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. The markets are still looking for some direction after that huge swing that we saw last week as a result of the virus springing up in another form. That caused gold to restore itself after taking a nice dip and giving us a great buying opportunity that last week. Overnight, gold has traded in a range of $1,780 to $1,800 the ounce, and right now currently trading at $1,790, just down $1.80. Silver traded in a range of $23.05 to $23.53, and is currently at $23.05. That's down 5 cents. So platinum up $6 right now at $960. Palladium at $1,730. That's up $50. And factors affecting the metals right now are the 10-year bond yield coming way down after what we saw happen last week, as they were projecting interest rates to go back up. Now it's the 10-year bond is
Hey,
back
hold
down to 1.54%. U.S. dollar index still very strong, which is putting some headwind against the gold. U.S. dollar index at 96.25. Oil up $3.60 this morning at $71.75 the barrel. And all these factors affecting the metals, but metals doing very well, pacing out here and looking for a real buying, or looking as a real buying opportunity.
Absolutely, and you know, the metals are where people go when we're facing what the country is facing, right? We got inflation, which is, you know, doesn't seem that anything done. We got another crisis with another pandemic they're talking about, and I remember, William Youngerman, when Steve and I first met you was after one of the big hurricanes, and because of electricity, the banks were shut down, but you were still open, and people were, because the metals are money in times of tragedy, of natural disaster, and obviously any time. Listen, they William Youngerman open regular business hours this week. They open at 10 a.m., located right here in Boca at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. Online at williamyoungerman.com, and you can call them directly, 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. All right, William Youngerman, have a great day. We'll talk tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Yeah, I remember that, Steve, after the hurricane. That's when you got involved in the metals. All right, back to the phones.
The lines were around the block.
But the bank was closed because there was no...
Hey, we're all going to William Youngerman to get their money.
Exactly, because gold's money. All right, you're on the radio. Good morning.
Good morning. I just want to give
Steve Kane
Steve a shout out that, how about
Hey,
when Kennedy,
Steve Kane Show.
the Bay of Pigs?
Hey, yes. Yeah, what's up?
What about it?
Okay, that was a failure on Kennedy's part.
I didn't say he was a perfect human being. I mean,
Okay,
what
so I'll wait a few minutes
what
before we
does
do
that-
it.
how does
Okay,
reflect his
that sounds
character?
good. All right, thanks for letting me know. Or bye.
Because he was a failure.
Yeah, it was a complete failure.
He had morals like Biden.
Yes.
He was on top of the world.
Yep.
And his morals were you know, yeah, he gave Jackie Kennedy, she rode horses and she fell off the horse. And he was giving her things that were painkillers.
You got her hooked on drugs. Yeah, I mean, go look at Jackie Kennedy on that tour of the White House. She's higher than Marilyn Monroe. She's higher than Hunter Biden. And I'll tell you another thing too.
He did what he did to Marilyn Monroe. He killed. Kennedy
Killed her. Oh,
Monroe.
Ryan, what do you think of that?
I agree with her.
Yes, she was a beautiful woman. He had and he pushed her around. And my father hated the Kennedys. Hated him.
Oh, I can see it. He passed that hatred on to you. Is your father the one who filled you full of hate?
Steve, you've not heard someone... Hold on, caller. Steve, this is the first time you've heard that the Kennedys killed Marilyn Monroe?
I've never seen any proof of that. I've never seen any... What evidence do you have of that, ma'am? Other than your hateful father, what evidence do you have?
Mickey Mantle. I remember Mickey Mantle wouldn't even let the Kennedys go to the funeral of Marilyn Monroe.
Steve, my father...
You don't mean Joe DiMaggio?
I mean Joe DiMaggio. Yeah, Joe DiMaggio.
Shows what you know.
I misspoke. Steve, I misspoke.
Right.
No, I'm not going to misspoke.
No, I did. I misspoke. So Steve's a winner because I misspoke.
My father fought D-Day. He was 17 years old or 18 years going off the gun. He came back. Anyway, to make a long story short, my father was never in politics, but he always hated the Kennedys.
In fact, I'll tell you this, Stephen.
To you.
Because he was a good father. Because he was a great dad. She had a great... Steve, Joe Pine hated Kennedy. In fact, Joe Pine was taken off the air for a month after the Kennedy assassination because he was going off on Kennedy so much, they thought they were going to blame Joe Pine for the assassination of Kennedy. Oh, you know.
is not true.
I heard Bob Grant said that. Bob Grant said that. That was another incident. No. That was another thing. They took him off the radio for a month, and Bob Grant filled in because he was such an anti-Kennedy guy on the radio, Joe Pine, that the network thought. I heard Bob Grant tell this story. That they thought people would blame Joe Pine for killing Kennedy. All right, listen, we're out of time, caller. You're a great caller, but we're out of time. But thanks so much. What a great father she had. What a great role model she had as a father. Made her a teller of truth. Made her a teller of truth. Now on the line we have Anita from AJ's Natural Wellness Shop in the Festival Marketplace, Janet Cimarelli's partner, and we hear from Anita on Mondays. Anita, good morning. Good. We need some chill pills. Do you have anything that can help calm people down that are in a bad mood over at AJ's?
We sure do. I actually started taking a few myself this week because it's been extra stressful with the holidays. Sorry. I take the one from Solgar, Stress and Anxiety Combo. It's great. It's got ashwagandha and safflower. And I also started taking Jarrow Sammy because that's great for mood as well. And I would share that with anybody that comes in the store to talk to me about it.
That's awesome.
To let everybody know that we have a lot of great brands at AJ's. We have, in the vitamin area, we have Solgar, Life Extension, Now, and Jarrow, some of people's very favorite high-quality brands. In the personal care, we carry things like Shakai and Desert Essence. And in the groceries, we have Bob's Red Mill, Bragg's Apple Cider Vinegar, and all kinds of great healthy staples. So if anybody's looking for that at great prices, we have them there.
See, now AJ's is the partnership between Anita and Janet, and both of them bring great things to the table. Of course, everyone knows Janet Cimarelli, probably the most well-known person in the nutraceutical industry in South Florida as a licensed nutritionist. And Anita comes having worked as a representative for all the big producers of these nutraceuticals, which enables Anita to have contacts that get them the best deals and the best prices on all their products that they pass on to you, their customer, at the best prices. Now, we're almost out of time, so let me give out the contact information here. Now, AJ's Natural Wellness is in the Festival Marketplace, which is the Festival Marketplace is immediately east of the Turnpike on the south side of Sample Road in Pompano. AJ's easy to find. Go through the main entrance, straight back to the food court, and right across the next to the food court, you'll find AJ's. They open up 7 days a week at 10 a.m. You can give them a call and order by phone as well. 954-317-1851. 954-317-1851. All right, Anita, have a great day. We'll talk next time. All right, Steve, we're out of time. You got to sign us off real quick.
AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network, WWNN, Pompano Beach.
All right, guys, that's it for today. Make sure you like the video before you go. And if you're new, subscribe. I've got so many wires on. Some great calls today. Boy, that Kennedy thing really got people riled up. My goodness. My goodness, people, it's so funny what people get riled up about. Absolutely. Oh, let me turn our voicemail on. Now, there's Black Friday deals I talked about at My Pillow. They when they come into the office today, they may update the website and take those down. So take advantage of those. Well, thanks, Jacqueline. I appreciate that. I think we got... I hope they leave those Black Friday specials up all week, but I don't know if they will. Oh, man. All right, guys, I got to take off, but again, make sure you like the video. I'll see you later. Kathy and I uploaded a new podcast last night, so if you missed it, check it out. It's on the Pelosi story, all right? Take care, guys. See ya.